guys, it's KINO. Welcome to another video. So as you can see from the title, in today's reading we are going to be finding out all about your future spouse and your married life together. This reading is going to be very detailed. There's a lot of different stuff I want to look at. So in the intro of this video, I'm actually going to go through like the breakdown of the reading. I made a list because I didn't want to forget anything. We are going to look at your future spouse's personality traits, astrological placements, physical traits, career, hobbies, your journey together. So that's your journey to meeting each other and then going into dating and then going into marriage and then into your married life together. And then we will look at the different aspects of your relationship. So that includes your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual relationship. And then I want to see how close you are to union. So what I'm thinking with this part is like, are you on the right path? Are you in alignment in coming together with this person? And then, yeah, kind of similar energy advice for manifesting your future spouse. And then finally, we'll see if there's any time frames that you guys should be aware of. And then I also want to give a couple, I guess, disclaimers. You are very welcome to watch this reading with a specific person in mind, but I also feel called to say to keep an open mind about who might be coming through in this reading. It could be someone new whom you haven't met before. It could be someone else that you know other than the person you are thinking of. With that being said, you very much have free will. You can be whomever you want to in this life. You can be with whomever you want to in this life, provided that the feelings are mutual, of course. So if the reading that you choose does not sound like someone you like, or it doesn't sound like the person you wanted it to be, please don't be upset. Just might not be your reading. And I want to give that disclaimer because I'm not here to say this is who you're going to marry whether you like it or not. This is who you're inevitably going to end up with. So if the reading is not for you, if it's not resonating, just move it along because your future is 100% in your hands. Okay, so there are 4 groups for you guys to choose from today, and each group has a different crystal as well as a different tarot deck that we're going to be using in the reading. As you can see, this is what they look like from the back, but in just a second I'm also going to show you a card from each deck so that you can see what the front artwork looks like. You might be drawn to the crystal, you might be drawn to the back of the card, you might be drawn to the front of the card. It's totally fine if you're drawn to more than one group. There might be messages for you in more than one reading. But today I'm going to show you guys the 10 of Cups from each deck because it's a very, very happy card, and it's a card of emotional fulfillment and love and peace and bliss. And that is what I want for you and your future spouse and your marriage together. So without further ado, let's give you guys a close-up look at each of your options. Option number 1, your stone is Rainbow Quartz. Your deck is the Starchild Tarot Akashic Edition, and here is the 10 of Cups. Option number 2, your stone is Fluorite. Your deck is the Shadowscapes Tarot, and here is the 10 of Cups. Option number 3, your stone is Rose Quartz. Your deck is the New Moon Tarot, and here is the 10 of Cups. And option number 4, your stone is Flower Agate. Your deck is the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot, and this is the 10 of Cups. So just in case you need a little bit more time to pick your reading, here are all of the options laid out side by side so that you can compare and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Rainbow Quartz and the Starchild Tarot Akashic Edition, this is going to be a reading all about your future spouse and your married life with them. So there's kind of going to be 3 parts to this reading. The first part is just going to be getting as many traits as we can about this person. The second part is going to be about your journey together, so your journey to meeting, dating, eventually getting married, and then your married life. life and all of the different aspects of your connection, what your relationship is like together. And then the third part of the reading is going to be sort of where you're at in manifesting this spouse into your life, or the next step of your relationship if this is someone you know already, advice for you, and any time frames that would be significant. I did do a little bit more of like a specific breakdown of the reading at the intro of this video if you guys are interested in what exactly we're going to be looking for in this reading, but that is the basic gist of it. The information might come out in different orders than what I just said, because that's just how readings go sometimes, but I am going to be covering all of that info. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And I actually want to start off with the transparent tarot to sort of paint the first picture of your future spouse. So this could be their personality or information that you need to know about them right off the bat. So for group number one's future spouse, to start off, we have the Tower, we have the King of Swords. Oh, that's actually kind of a nice combo. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. I want to do it like, no, but I feel like, yeah, this is them. This is their energy. And then this is like outside energy. I'm going to put them like this. So the first trait that I'm getting from this person very strongly is that they have a very grounded and very calm temperament about them. This is a type of person who could remain calm in a crisis and who would still be able to keep their composure and think rationally and find a solution to the problem. Like they can stay very, very level-headed. Look, like a post-it note just fell off of my fridge and I freaked out. Meanwhile, this person is staying very, very calm in a crisis. I feel that this person is quite mature for their age, and they're logical, they're rational, they're cool, they're calm, they're collected, they keep their composure. This is someone who is very dependable as well. So if they say that they're going to be there for you, if they say that they're going to help you, they're going to be there. I'm getting vibes that this person is punctual. If they say they're going to show up at 6, they're going to show up at 6 flat. They're very responsible as well, and they're very, very patient. They're patient with themselves, they're patient with others, they're patient with the universe. This is someone who's very realistic with their expectations of themselves and others as well, meaning that they understand that great things take time, and they understand that life isn't a linear journey. So if they stumble sometimes, if they make mistakes, they're not going to be like really hard on themselves. They're not going to feel like a failure. This is someone who's very good at persevering and getting up and trying again, and, not taking the way the chips have fallen too seriously, or not taking it too personally. Like, this is someone that you would really want with you on a long journey like life, because they're always going to have your back. They're always going to be rock solid, and they have this really nice balance where they're like focused and like, okay, let's find the solution to this problem, but at the same time they're like, this might take time and we might stumble sometimes, and that's okay. Like, they have that really sweet and warm and reassuring side to them as well. I feel like this is someone who could always calm you down and help you see the light at the end of the tunnel if you're ever going through a struggle, whether that's internal or you're going through some difficult like external circumstances. The other thing that I'm picking up with this Tower energy is that you might feel very intensely towards this person very early on. Like, it's kind of giving me like a love at first sight vibes, or just as soon as you meet this person, you're like, oh crap, this person is making me feel quite differently than other people that I've met before. Just like an immediate magnetic attraction, as if you were as if you were struck by lightning. I'm also noticing that, you know, this person is down on one knee. I don't know if all of the knights in this deck are like that. They might be, but I was just thinking that when this person proposes to you, they will likely want to do so, you know, in a traditional way, in a very romantic way. And yeah, I do think this person will be the one to propose to you. I shouldn't have just made that assumption, but it looks like this is really indicating that. And that they will think it through a lot and they will plan it out a lot. I think this is someone, like, when they want to offer you something, when they want to make a move towards you, when they want to give you a gift, a lot of thought and a lot of planning goes into that. This is someone who, and it's not to say that they aren't adventurous, but I feel like they're very deliberate in their actions. They like to think things through. So when they say something, they mean it. When they do something, it's because they've thought about it and this is what they really want to do. This is not someone who's like super impressionable or impulsive, or who could get swayed by flattery, or who could get swayed by guilt tripping. It's like they really have a solid backbone, and if they're doing something, it's because they've thought about it and that's what they really want to do. And that's why I think this person is so like dependable and reliable. This is someone who is predictable. And again, that doesn't mean like they're not spontaneous, or it doesn't mean they're boring, but it's like you can always count on them to show up in a certain way, and you can always count on them to be there for you. Like, this is a very stable and very mature person that no matter what tower moments, no matter what disaster is going on around you, you would feel really safe and really secure with them. A specific message that's coming through is that this person is funny, but not because they try to be. It's like, if they were trying to be funny, you're laughing at them not because it was funny, but because their attempt to be funny was so weird, or like their joke was so bad, if that makes sense. Or like if they come to you and they're like, oh my gosh, look at how funny this video is. You're not laughing because the video is funny. You're laughing because like how hard they're laughing, or how funny they find it, even though it's not. I hope that that makes sense. They're like inadvertently funny, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. So, yeah, I feel like when you're getting to know this person, you're like antsy and you're full of anticipation, not necessarily in a bad way, but it's just that, you know, you feel such intense things for them right off the bat. But at the same time, this is someone who wants to take things slow and really get to know you. So you might feel like there's kind of ants in your pants. Like, I know this is a good thing that we're like really getting to know each other and building trust, but I feel so intensely for you. I just want to rush right to the finish line. So I feel like there's a lot of sparks, there's a lot of lightning, there's a lot of anticipation when you're getting to know this person. Another thing that's coming to my mind is that this person has a good relationship with their family, like within themselves. This is not someone who would just like unconsciously do things just because their parents did it, or become like their parents blindly. They're able to objectively look back on their upbringing and say like, that was really good. I want to keep that value. I want to keep that way of being and pass that on. Maybe that not so much. Maybe that was a little toxic. Maybe that was a little dysfunctional. So they're able to look at the whole picture objectively and, you know, take what was good for them and take what was constructive and, you know, leave the rest behind. They have that way of objectively analyzing. And again, I feel like this person is not, you know, they're maybe less swayed by emotion than other people, which is probably why they can stay so composed even during tower moments. But yeah, like this is not someone who would be like just overcome with emotion and be like, screw it, let's elope, let's get married. Like they're not that kind of person. They really want to think things through. So yes, this is like the first pieces of their personality that I'm seeing. So the next step of this reading is astrological information. These can be specific placements that this person has, or just the general energy about them. I hope that everything is going to fit. Okay, so to start off, we have Uranus with genius. Then we have fourth house with home, family, roots, foundations, emotions, femininity, mother, domestic, comfort, feeling at home, ancestors, property, and family values. And then we have in the 8th house. So this person could have Aquarius placements, Cancer placements, or Scorpio placements. If I look at these 3 cards, they could also have Uranus in the 4th house, Uranus in the 8th house, something like that. And we do have the symbol of the moon here. So this could be like moon in Aquarius, moon in Cancer, moon in Scorpio. Okay, so I'm gonna start over here with Uranus and Genius. It's funny that we have the Uranus energy because this can indicate someone who is a little bit weird, if I'm being honest, or just a little bit eccentric. And I'm going back to this person having kind of a weird sense of humor. With the 4th house here talking about home, it could be that this person kind of has an eccentric or eclectic, I don't know if that's the right word, but maybe they have an interesting way of decorating their home or an interesting way of organizing things, or they could have an interesting car or something like that. It could also be that their family values were a little bit unconventional in the context of, for example, the country they grew up in, the culture they grew up in, the generation that they grew up in. So just a hypothetical example is like maybe they come from a country that's like tends to have a lot of religious people, but they were raised in a family that was not religious or something like that, or a generation where people, maybe like their parents grew up in a generation that tended to be very close-minded, but their parents were super open-minded, and so that affected how they were raised. Like there's something about their family and how they were raised that I think is a little bit unconventional. It could also be something like they moved around a lot in their childhood, or also like foster kids is coming to my mind. Maybe their parents had foster children, or maybe they were adopted or something like that. That is not weird, but just unusual. You don't hear that kind of thing every day. 4th house can talk about, like our childhood. So I feel like this person was kind of a genius, very smart since a very, very young age. And they were kind of like very mature from a young age, where I can just see them like the normal silly things that kids laugh about and that kids cry about and that kids care about. I feel like this person was like an old person trapped in a little kid's body. And they're like, I just want to go home and read the newspaper, or I want to go home and play backgammon with my dad, or something like that. They're giving me this kind of, I guess, old soul sort of energy. I think that this person has, strong ties to their family, good relationship, and very grateful for their family, like I think I spoke about before. And I think this person is very proud of where they came from. So like proud of their heritage, or proud of their hometown, or something like that. With comfort and feeling at home, I also think this is indicating that you would feel very, very safe and at home with this person, that you wouldn't feel judged by this person. With the 8th house, we do have intimacy and this feeling of this person seeing right through you, but that doesn't make you scared. Even if in the past you've been afraid of people seeing you exposed, or like seeing past your mask, when this person sees through, it doesn't feel scary. And maybe that's what's so intense and what hits you really different about this person. It's like, I feel like I'm naked in front of you, I feel like I'm exposed in front of you, and yet I don't feel vulnerable. It's like this intense, like, I trust you, I know that it's going to be okay. With the word domestic here, this could be someone who either they don't have a problem doing the housework, or they actually enjoy doing the housework. It's also making me think of domestic animals. So they might have a pet, or you will have pets when you live together. And then with property, I'm thinking this person could be a homeowner, or you will own a home when you move in together. They could even own like other property as investments or something like that. With the 8th house, again, I feel like this is speaking about the level of intimacy that you guys have. And with Uranus in the 8th house, I feel like, and that genius energy and the Cancer, very intuitive energy here, I feel like this person has a really strong bullshit meter. Like they can tell when you're lying, they can tell like if you're trying to manipulate them, or they can tell what the emotion is behind people's actions and behaviors. Oh, that person's doing that because they feel like XYZ. That person's doing that because they're trying to get XYZ out of you. Like, I don't know what the opposite of naive is. Just like they're knowing, they're knowing what's going on, I guess is the way that I could put it. So let's move on to even more details about this person. We're going to see about their physical appearance, their career, and their hobbies. So for physical appearance, we have the Muse of Inspiration, or this would be the King of Wands. For their career, we have 5 of Materials. This would be 5 of Pentacles. And for their hobbies, we have 3 of Voices. This would be 3 of Swords. Okay, so let's take a look at this King of Wands. First of all, they're coming through as a king. So this could mean that they are older than you. It could also mean that they are taller than you, or just tall in general. I also feel like they would have a very strong and like well-built body regardless of their gender. This is likely someone who likes working out with this like fiery wands energy. So they're probably in quite good shape and in quite good health. They could have a piercing. They could also wear their hair in braids. This person has long hair. So this person could have longer hair. They could also have lighter colored hair, which is subjective and it depends on like your ethnicity and stuff like that, but just lighter hair, or maybe it's dyed lighter. And it looks like they would have a very nice side profile as well, because this person is looking to the side. I'm noticing there's an emphasis on like their neckline, their collarbone looks very nice. Their arms, especially like upper arms, shoulder and biceps area, looks really, really nice. I'm also noticing that this person is dressed in black. So this person could enjoy dressing in black, or just dressing more plainly. They don't have to have all of these traits, but this is definitely what I'm seeing from this card. Is there anything else? I think that's what I'm seeing so far from this. So with the 5 of Materials referring to their career, this is definitely someone who is not in their career for the money. This card talks about financial lack. I don't think this necessarily means that this person doesn't make a lot of money. I think it just means that like whatever they do for a living, they're not in it for the money. And it makes sense because we have them coming through as the King of Wands here. This is someone who really values like their individuality, their creativity, their freedom. With this Uranus genius energy, maybe this is someone who would kind of struggle to take orders from people. And we also have the King coming through twice. This is someone who would really want to do their own thing, be their own boss. They could be an employee, but I feel like they would need to be able to take on a lot of the responsibilities themselves and sort of be able to manage themselves and have a lot of flexibility. Or of course they could be self-employed as well. This could also be indicating that in their career, they do something to help people who are in need. They could do something to help those who are living in poverty, those who are sick, those who need assistance, because we see there's this gold hand, and I feel like they're reaching out to help the person. They could also do volunteer work or charity work in addition to their career, which is like, yeah, I'm not in it just for the money. I don't want to exert myself or offer my services just for the money. I want to really make a difference. And they could be doing something that is a little bit hard for most people to make money in. Like an artist, for example, or a business owner or a startup, for example. That's something we hear like a lot of people fail in, or a lot of people struggle to make money. It's like, you need to have a very specific skill set or have a lot of willpower or just be lucky, honestly. It's like a lot of things need to line up for success, but they're just really passionate about it with the King of Wands here, and they just go for it. With the 3 of Swords here, I promise their hobby is not crying, even though there's like crying eyes here. This could be indicating that their hobbies that they enjoy is a way for them it's like a way, what is it? An outlet. It's an outlet for their emotions. So when they're feeling sad, this is also like stress and anxiety, when they're feeling like pent up stress, when they're feeling worries about their work or life in general, they turn to their hobbies to let that out. And with the Muse of Inspiration here, I feel like I said, I think physical activity is definitely one of their hobbies. Like I'm specifically seeing someone who like works out or goes to the gym, where at the very least this would be a physical activity that makes you kind of like toned or kind of buff, you know what I mean? It's more than just like going for a walk outside. It's maybe some kind of sport or extreme sport or some kind of rigorous exercise that I think this person enjoys to do, and that's a good outlet for their emotions. It could also be some kind of artistic expression with this King of Wands here as well. I don't think I'm gonna list like all the different kinds of art, but art could be a really good outlet for this person as well. And you know, with the Five of Pentacles, it can also talk about a feeling of being left out, and then we have this person who is shut out. Your future spouse, either right now or at the time that you meet them, they could be feeling a little bit lonely because they don't know anyone to share their hobby with. So let's say this person loves running. They could be like, oh, I really wish I had a running buddy, but nobody wants to go with me. Or like I don't know, CrossFit and no one wants to do it with me. Or I make music, or I like singing, but it would be so much fun if like I knew someone who played an instrument and then we could practice together. This person could be feeling a little bit sad and left out when it comes to like having someone to share and enjoy their hobbies with. So this concludes the first part of the reading, so their traits. We're gonna move now into the part which represents your journey. So we're gonna see your journey to meeting each other. We have the Three of Cups. To dating, these are coming out pretty quickly. To dating, we have the Six of Wands. To getting married, we have the Ace of Swords. Wow. And then into your married life is the Page of Wands. So first of all of these cards came out really, really quickly. I think this means that your journey together is going to be pretty smooth sailing. I mean, everybody has their conflicts and their stressful times, but I think that that's going to be quite minimal in this relationship. And you know, this person, I do think they like to be cautious and take their time getting to know you and take things slow, but they're certainly not going to be dragging their feet. And with the Ace of Swords here, this is someone like, when they know, you know, they think about it and then they're sure about how they feel and then they're decisive about it. So while you may be feeling anticipation, like, oh, I really want things to move to the next level, I don't think you're ever going to be, you know, looking at your watch like, what the hell is taking this person so long? I'm really not getting that vibe at all. The majority of these here are fast moving cards, and the cards were coming out really fast too. Okay, so let's start with your journey to meeting each other. We have the Three of Cups. This is one of those cards that I'm thankful for because it's a pretty easy card to interpret. For this kind of question, it generally indicates some sort of introduction through a third party, and it's often like a mutual friend would introduce you or something like that. Now keep in mind that this could be your mutual friend, or no, it would be both of you because it's a mutual friend. What was I going to say? Oh, it could be a mutual friend who like you don't know yet. It could be a new friend that you're going to make in the future, and then this person is going to introduce you. And it can also indicate, it usually indicates a more laid back, playful or celebratory atmosphere. So it's not necessarily, no, it's not like you're meeting at work or school. It's usually, you know, like a get together with friends, or, you know, going out to have a good time at a party, at a restaurant, at a bar, at some place for recreation, wherever you go to have fun, whatever you do to enjoy yourself. it's more of that energy as opposed to like you meet this person while you're working or while you're fulfilling your daily tasks or doing something boring. It's like something where you're having fun. You could meet this person at night because this card seems to be happening at night. The Three of Cups can indicate that it's an environment where alcohol or drinking is involved. It doesn't mean that you have to be drinking, but where some people could be drinking. Like for example, at a party or at a concert or something like that. But it's a more relaxed and laid back sort of vibe. And there's definitely, I think, going to be other people around. Like it's not just the two of you when you first meet this person. I'm also feeling called to say, look out for waterfalls. There could be a waterfall nearby on the day that you meet this person. Also, Three of Cups is related to the zodiac sign of Cancer. So there could be some symbolism of like crabs or seafood or something like that when you meet this person. It's funny, I have a crab tattoo, so like if I meet my future spouse, of course there's going to be crab symbolism, but like look out for things that have to do with like marine animals or the sea or seafood or something like that, or the beach, things like that. Okay, so moving on, we have you guys are moving into dating. I'm really getting the vibe that this person is going to take the lead when it comes to making moves in the relationship. I felt like they were going to propose to you. I also feel like they're going to, you know, ask you to be in a relationship with them. Just judging from this person's personality, I think that they're going to be pretty clear cut about it. I don't really see any vague, you know, situationship, I don't know what we are sort of thing happening. I think that they're going to be pretty direct about how they feel about you, and they're going to be over the moon. Like when you agree to be in a relationship with this person, they're going to be so happy because this card is about like victories and feeling confident and feeling really good about yourself. I think you're both kind of just going to know. While I do feel an intense connection, I don't feel a lot of like nervousness or butterflies, because again, this is a very confident energy. So it's like when this person asks if you will be their significant other, like they know that you're going to say yes, because you guys with the Ace of Swords, you're very communicative to each other. You're very vocal about how you're feeling. They know how you feel about them. You know how they feel about you. And that's really nice. You feel really, really secure. I also think that this person is going to be telling everyone about you. Like, I don't know why I would have to confirm that you're not going to be a secret. But it's like they're totally talking about you, and they're talking about you very proudly, and they want to show you off. They want to show you off to their friends, to their family. That's that Six of Wands kind of energy. Like they want to make it official, and they feel very proud to be with you, and they want people to know about that. It's not like they're gonna go blabbing before you're official or be like, you know, what is it called? Bombing people with this information, but they're very proud to be with you, and they're confident to show you off. So moving on to your getting married, we have the Ace of Swords here, which is very decisive, clear-cut, definitive moment. So I do feel like getting married is something that you guys will talk about together, but the moment that they propose to you, it could be kind of a surprise. But yeah, with this Ace of Swords here, I feel like there is so much certainty surrounding this decision. You will feel very, very certain saying yes. I think that your friends and family are really going to love each other and are really going to celebrate your relationship. And you know, this Three of Cups is representing the energy that you met in, but I think that a lot of the time when you guys are hanging out or spending time together, there might also be like family and friends present. It's not to say you don't have alone time, but it's like you all just get together so well, and it's really nice to just, you know, meet up and share your love together. You might have a party to celebrate your engagement, but it's going to be a no-brainer. That's how I'm hearing it. It's a no-brainer for you. It's a no-brainer for them. It's a no-brainer to like your friends and family. They're not surprised at all that things have moved in this direction. Just just very, very happy for you. Aw. And then in your married life, we have the Page of Wands, which I love this, because Page of Wands is like a young, fresh, new, exciting energy, which means that even when you're moving into your married life and the happy, exciting wedding is over and the honeymoon is over, you still feel the passion. You still feel giddy like it's your first day dating this person, and you still feel excited for the future. You know, I don't see you getting bored or getting too comfortable, and you're always going to look to the future thinking like anything is possible. Today is a new day and I can create anything with you. And I think that you guys will both have your respective, like, you're into different things, you're on different journeys, of course, but you take a lot of interest in what the other person is doing, like genuine interest. So like when you get home from work, or when your spouse gets home from work, you ask each other how your day is going and what you're working on and what you're dealing with. And like, you genuinely want to know. And when something good happened, you're so excited for each other. Like, you take on each other's joys and struggles and excitement as your own. And you're like each other's greatest supporter. And even as you move into old age together, it's like you're always going to feel like this young, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and excited couple. And also, like, if you guys are sexual people, I do think that that relationship is always going to remain like exciting. It's always going to remain like fresh and new and spontaneous. I don't see you guys getting bored in any sense, is basically what I want to say. So now we're going to, oh no, I lied. We're not moving to the last part of the reading yet, because we're gonna look deeper into like the different aspects of your connection. So your physical connection, we have two coming out. That's the Ace of Pentacles and the Universe, which is the world. Your mental connection, Eight of Wands. Are these gonna fit? Your emotional connection, we have the Three of Wands. And your spiritual connection is represented by the Eight of Pentacles, or the Eight of Crystals. So for your physical connection, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the World. So why is that the first message that comes through? With the World here, I feel like you guys might travel a lot in your married life, and I just got this message, like, if you're a sexual person, that like you will have done it in so many different countries or like in so many different places. The universe or the world, it's like completion. So I feel like this is saying it's the whole package, you know? I think you guys are likely each other's type. So like the physical attraction is there, the compatibility of your bodies is there, the emotional bond is there. It's like everything that you could ever want. It's like really the full package. The world also makes me think of package. The universe or the world also makes me think of like mirroring and reciprocity. So it's likely that you guys, you know, have the same preferences and enjoy the same things. And then Ace of Pentacles. Ace is like a new beginning. Pentacles is like physical or tangible stuff. So this, you could be experiencing things that are like new with this person physically, like things that you've never tried before, or just like, you know, intense sensation that you've never experienced before. But definitely things look very, very good. Also, Pentacles are slow moving. So I think that, you know, when you're together, you're definitely not in any sort of rush. Ace of Pentacles often makes me think of like sustainability, you know, durability, which is very good. But also I think it's talking about how like the excitement that you feel with each other is gonna you know, it's going to last for a very long time. And I love that we have, you know, the 8th house energy, which is like intimacy, and then 4th house, which is feeling at home, feeling safe and secure and comfortable. And then we have a little dash of unconventionality with Uranus, a little dash of spontaneity, a little kink, if you will. So very, very nice energy. Moving on to your mental connection, we have the 8 of Wands. This means that you guys are excellent communicators with each other, and you just get it. You just get each other. I feel like this is someone, well, you'll be this way for each other. Like, you say something once and you've got it. So if you ask them to do something, or they ask you to do something, it's like, I've got it, I'm on it. If you tell them, I like this, or I don't like it when you do that, or I expect this, I got it. It's like, you'll find that you don't have to repeat yourself, you don't have to nag. I also feel like a lot of things are just understood without communicating, and I'm not discouraging you from communicating, but that's just 8 of Wands kind of energy. Like, you just get it, you're just on the same wavelength, which this means you're a genius as well. Like, if you're on the same wavelength with a genius, then you're a genius too. So you're definitely very intellectually stimulating towards each other. And I think you just want the same things, and you just understand each other very, very well. With your emotional connection, we have the 3 of Wands, which is really cool. This is kind of an expansive energy. And it's also like a bold, daring, out of your comfort zone kind of energy. I feel like, you know, because you feel so safe with this person, you're able to open up about your deepest, most intimate emotions that maybe you don't usually talk about. Those that could be kind of ugly. 8th house is about things that are taboo, things that are hidden. And I'm not saying that any of your emotions are ugly, because they're not. But, you know, in society, there's certain emotions that maybe we are shamed for experiencing, or we feel guilt about, desires, fears that we can't share. And I feel like you can really open up about everything to this person. But also, what came to my mind with this card is that being with this person could unlock emotions that you didn't know you had, or like dreams or desires that you didn't know you had. And I think it goes back to that amazing communication that you have with this person. As you talk through your emotions, you're like, oh, so that's what that is. That's why I really feel that way, or that's what I'm really wanting. So they really help you to open the door. And like, yeah, I think it makes sense that this person is nude, because it's like you're really exposing yourself. And this is like a mutual thing. You help each other to see feelings you didn't know were there, or to expose like your deepest of feelings with each other. And then finally, in terms of your spiritual connection, we have the 8 of Pentacles. Honestly, the vibe that I first got when I pulled out this card is like, I don't think spirituality is a big part of this relationship, or like your spiritual connection is not at the forefront, if that makes sense. I think that this connection is very like in the 3D, very grounded in the 3D. And maybe you guys don't really care about, you know, labels of spiritual connections, or this person doesn't really care, or maybe even doesn't really believe in that stuff. But it's like, I don't know about all of that, but what matters is that we chose each other, and we're committed to each other, and we're gonna work on our relationship every day, you know? And maybe you guys don't say stuff to each other like, you're the one, you're my soulmate, but it's more, this is a very practical energy, and like, we're finding success because we worked really hard on this relationship. This is like working on something again and again and again until you get it right. What I do know is that I love you, and I want to be with you, and I'm going to put a lot of effort into this relationship. With that being said, I do think that you guys could do things like meditation together, you could do things like manifestation together, and that can definitely be how you like experience your spiritual connection. I just don't really feel like that's at the forefront, like your spiritual nature or like your spiritual connection is the main thing. You're more like in the 3D when it comes to this relationship. It's kind of how it feels. So now we are done with the second part of the reading. So we're going to move into the last part and see how close you are to manifesting this union. So by now, I think that you guys might know if this is someone you already know or if this is a new person coming into your life. So this could be showing like how close you are to meeting them, how close you are to getting in a relationship with them, how close you are to marrying them, whatever stage you guys are at in your journey. So for you guys, we have balance, spirituality, and practicality with the full moon in Pisces. And we have your hard work is paying off with the new moon in Capricorn. So I feel like you guys are definitely doing everything right to bring in this union with this your hard work is paying off card. With balance, spirituality, and practicality, I think you guys are doing an amazing job of like taking the actions that you need to take, of doing inner work, and also of surrendering. I feel like you have that balanced down really well between like taking inspired action and surrendering. And maybe you need to give yourself more credit for that, because I think you have that balance figured out maybe more than you realize or more than you give yourself credit for. I do want to mention too that in terms of the moon cycles, the full moon in Pisces and the new moon in Capricorn are not that far away from each other. You know, like in the moon cycles of the year, they're pretty close together. So I do think this is hinting that it wouldn't be that long until you meet this person, or until you're in a relationship with them, until you marry them, whatever the next step is for you. So your advice for bringing in this union is forgiveness with set yourself free. And joy, your inner child is here to play. So this is like, yeah, setting your inner child free. With the unicorn here, unicorns make me think of like an eccentricity and unconventionality, which is something that we talked about in this reading with the Uranus energy. So this is kind of like something that would help to make this relationship come together faster is if you release your inhibitions and just act like the kid at heart that you are, or just embrace your weirdness and let that come out. So maybe what would be very like attractive to your future spouse is when you're just your natural unfiltered self and you're not afraid of coming off silly or coming off weird or being judged. And maybe this is also how they're gonna recognize you and how they're gonna know like, yep, this is the person I wanna be with. This is it. It's funny, like you might have this personality. I think we all do, you know, when we meet someone for the first time, when we're on a first date, we have our more like filtered personality. But I actually think that the sooner you drop that act and you just act like your kooky, quirky, weird self, whatever that might be for you, that's actually going to be so endearing to this person. And really, like, they might talk about the moment that they fell in love with you and you're like, that embarrassing thing that I did? And they're like, no, because that's when I saw like how sweet you were. That's when I saw how genuine you were. So just letting your playful self come out, letting your inner child come out, letting your weirdness come out, that could help to bring this person in. That could help them to know that it's you. That could help the relationship to speed up the faster you bring down those walls. Okay, so for the last part of this reading, we're going to see if there are, or what time frames you guys should know about. This could be the time frame of when you're going to meet, when you're going to get together, when you're going to get married. You guys know the drill, whatever makes sense for your situation. So we have South Node and North Node. And we have 22. So the nodes, the North and South nodes, they change signs every, I think it's a year and a half that the nodes change signs. So like 18 months. And then we have 22. So this could be showing the time frame of like 18 to 22 months. So basically between a year and a half and 2 years. That is a significant window for you guys for meeting, getting together with, or marrying this person, whatever makes sense for your situation. But group number one, these are all the messages I have for you today, so I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to that or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you too. Group number one, I'm sending lots of love to you, to your spouse, and to your whole spiritual team, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Fluorite and the Shadowscapes Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about your future spouse and your married life with them. So basically this reading is going to have three different parts. In the first part, we are just going to get as many traits, as many details as we can about this person. In the second part, we're going to see what your relationship is like. So this includes your journey to each other, meeting, dating, getting married, and then into married life, and also the different aspects of your relationship. And then in the third part of this reading, we're going to see where you're at in terms of manifesting this union, like how far you've come, and advice to make the process smoother or quicker, and any significant timeframes that you should know about. I did a little bit more of a specific breakdown of exactly what we're going to be looking at in this reading in the intro of the video, so if you are interested in seeing that, before getting into the reading, there is a timestamp, but that's basically the gist of it. The information might come out in a different order than what I just said, because that's just the way readings go sometimes, but I will be covering all of that information. So without further ado, let's get into the reading. I'm going to start off with the Transparent Tarot to get our first look at your future spouse's energy. So this part will include their personality traits or just anything that you should know about them. Okay, group number two's future spouse. What should we know about them to start off? So the first card that we have is the Page of Pentacles. Then we have the Five of Cups. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. And then we have, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. I can't, oh my God. Okay, this person is seriously an angel on earth. First of all, this deck is so cool. Like the way that the cards can overlap and really tell a story, I just think is so fascinating. And like, if I were using a different tarot deck, I might have interpreted this in a very different way. But oh my gosh, look at this. So your person, it's just in their nature. They have this instinct that they want to help others and they want to care for others. It's interesting that we had a page coming out as our first card. Pages can represent children. I was just thinking, like, since this person was a little kid, they would always share with others. They would always include others. You know, with the Five of Cups card here, we see someone is feeling a little bit dejected. They're feeling sad. Maybe they're going without. Like, your future spouse was the person who would always go to that person's aid. So if there was a kid who was being bullied, they would go and offer to play with them and make them feel included. If there was a kid who didn't have a lot to eat, they would share their lunch or share their snack with them. Like, that's just in their nature. When they see someone who is struggling, when they see someone who is down, they want to help in any way that they can. And this is definitely something that they've kept moving into adulthood. I feel like this is someone who, like, they would literally give you the shirt off their back, or if they have any bit of wealth, any bit of abundance, they want to share it with their loved ones. So this is someone who's incredibly generous. They're incredibly caring and compassionate. I'm definitely not getting the vibes of this person like it's not like they overextend themselves, or it's not like they have poor boundaries or anything like that. It's just in their nature to help and to care for others. Like, they just have such an immense compassion. They have such a sweet and pure and innocent soul. One thing that I think might have gotten them in trouble in the past is that maybe they were the type of person who was a little bit naive, like when they were younger, or they just like expected the best of everybody. Like, oh, that person would never hurt me, that person would never lie to me. And maybe they've kind of learned that the hard way. But I don't think that that's ever discouraged them from being the person that they are. You know, it never hardened them. And I could almost get like strength card vibes from this person. It never hardened them. It never made them cold. It never changed their beautiful, kind, and generous spirit. And I love the image of the 10 of Cups too, because we have two people with their arms around each other, like celebrating the 10 of Cups, which is joy and happiness. So it's like they're coming up to the sad person and saying, hey, come with me and let's experience my joy together. Let's experience my blessings together. They really want to shine a light where there is darkness. And I feel like they really have been that ray of hope or that bit of kindness for so many people. This person's like the prime example of how, you know, one small act of kindness can really make a difference in somebody's life. I think that as an adult, they likely donate a significant portion of their income. They're always there to lend a helping hand to their friends and family. I do think at this point in their life, they are very much in good hands, meaning that they're not, you know, in relationships with anyone who would take advantage of their kindness, which again, I think that they've learned the hard way. But I think with the 10 of Cups here, that this person is really surrounded by amazing loved ones, amazing friends, amazing family, amazing work relationships. And this is someone who has really mastered the art of like giving and generosity while also filling your own cup and also taking care of yourself. And I think that's because they have so many people around them who have encouraged them to do so. And I also think that their family is really, really, really sweet. So meeting their family is going to be like a really lovely part of your relationship. They could have some relatives who are quite young, like they have a baby sibling or a baby niece or nephew or a baby cousin, or like a baby puppy or something. I feel like there's some kind of youth or childlike energy around them. I'm also getting the vibe that this person has a relative who is the same gender as you and around the same age as you, and you guys are just like this. You get along so well. Just for a very simple example, let's say you're a woman and then your future spouse has a sister and you guys just get along really, really well. Like you become best friends. But I think you're really going to be accepted into this family. I think with the page here in the 10 of Cups, this would be someone who does like want a family of their own, who, whether that's like human children or other animals' children, it's like they want to, or both, they want to nurture someone, they want to take care of someone, they want to have their loving and cozy home. And I think this is someone who just, they have so much optimism and they have so much hope, and they're just such a freaking, they're such an angel. They're such a sweetheart. I just had this image of some kind of celebration where someone's doing a toast for them and, you know, thanking them for everything that they've done, and they're getting teary-eyed as if like, what? Stop it. I don't deserve this. And it's like, but you do. You've done so much for us. Maybe they're like, maybe it's like a vision of them at your wedding, or they're getting like an award for something for all of their contributions, or both. But I just had this image of people like celebrating them and toasting to them and thanking them, and they're getting kind of like misty-eyed because it's like, oh no, it's nothing, it's the least I could do. So probably this person is very, very humble as well. But wow, oh my gosh, what a sweetheart. Okay, so the next part of the reading is going to be looking at astrological placements. So these could be specific placements that this person has, or just a general energy. So we have Taurus with I have, South Node, karmic past, comfort zone, mastery, old habits, the past, unfinished business, current gifts, talents, natural strengths, limitations, potential stagnancy. And then we have Virgo. So there's healing power, analyzing, perfectionism, serving of others. That makes a lot of sense. I hope that these will all fit. I should have gotten the hang of how to fit them all, because this is not the first one that I'm filming, but alas, the camera moves a little bit every time and then we get this kind of situation. Also, these cards take up varying amounts of space depending on how the picture is painted. So there we go. We have Taurus placements, we have Virgo placements. It looks like earth energy is quite strong in this person, because we even had the Page of Pentacles coming through at the beginning of the reading. I definitely think this person is earth dominant. So they have a lot of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or like a mix of that in their chart. It could also be that they have like the South Node in Taurus, which I do too, because that's kind of cool, or South Node in Virgo. Yes, but it looks like the South Node is being highlighted here. It's interesting that we have the message of karmic past. If you guys do care about or are interested in these kind of like spiritual labels and spiritual connections, this can be indicative of a past life connection. It's interesting that we have the Taurus energy here too with I have, because I feel like a lot of their personality is sharing what they have. And this is making me think, you know, with this Taurus energy now, with this I have energy, I do think that this person is quite wealthy, or they will be quite wealthy in the future when you're getting together with them or marrying them. Taurus also is, this person could sleep a lot or this person could really, really enjoy food, or both. This is definitely someone who likes their comforts. They might sleep with a very specific pillow or a very specific blanket. They really need to do this routine to get comfortable and do this routine to wind down. This could kind of be a creature of habit with Taurus energy, and also South Node, because South Node energy kind of keeps us in our same patterns, keeps us in our similar patterns. So this could be someone who like has a very specific routine that they do every day, or like they watch the same shows, they eat the same foods. I don't necessarily think it's because they're opposed to like adventurousness and trying new things. It's just not something that comes to them naturally. So if you're more of like the spontaneous type, you like to do new stuff, I think that you could maybe like introduce this person to that side of life. Like, hey, try this different cuisine, or like, let's try going to this different place. And I think that you could help this person kind of come out of their shell a bit and try new things. Like the Taurus and South Node is kind of giving me like a stuck in their ways kind of energy. I think honestly this person is very simple. Like it doesn't take much to make this person happy. The word low maintenance is coming to my mind, even though I really don't like to use those kind of words to describe people. Like that person's high maintenance, that person's low maintenance. I don't like that, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like they really don't need much. Like if they have their comforts, if they have their home, if they have their food, like they're good. I think that this person is incredibly affectionate, incredibly snuggly, with Taurus being all about like the senses and sensory pleasures. Physical touch could be very important to this person. They could, you know, show you a lot of physical affection. And yeah, I think this is like kind of sensual person. I think your physical relationship will be great as well. With this Virgo energy here, I mean, I'm not surprised this came out, this energy of like serving other people. It could be that this person, maybe they've had kind of been in the same field of work for a long time. I was gonna say in all of their lifetimes, like all of their past lives. I'm not sure about that, but South Node is very much the energy of like staying the same. So it could be like they've had the same like hobbies forever, or they've had the same career forever. And I definitely think it's something in which they are like serving others or helping others. I think that they have a very good attention to detail. They're laid back in their personal life for sure, but maybe at work they go into this mode where they're like very analytical and doing things very, very quickly. And because it just like, it comes like second nature to them. I do think, at least when you meet them, they'll be in a career that they've been in for a very long time. And it's just, they're just like a pro at it. They can do it without thinking. They can see all of the things that need to be improved. They can fix all of the problems. I just heard IT, so maybe this person like does something with computers or fixing devices or making devices or something like that. Yeah, but anyway, they're very good at what they do for sure. Okay, so we are going to get even more information about this person's traits now. We're going to take a look at physical appearance, career, and hobbies. Although I will say, with the Taurus energy here, this person is likely quite beautiful because Taurus is ruled by Venus. And then we have some Mercurial energy here as well, and the Page. So it's likely that this person has a very youthful look, regardless of their age. I'm hearing like effortless. They don't have to do much to just look amazing. If this person is a woman, I feel like, well, even if they're a man, but I was gonna say, I feel like they often go with a natural face. But I felt more called to specify if it's a woman because men usually don't wear makeup. Not that they can't, but you know what I mean. I just wanted to specify like that. So in terms of their physical appearance, we have Muse of Voices. So this is the King of Swords. It's interesting because the element of air would also make me think of someone who's youthful. We have the Four of Pentacles. Oh, wow. Four of Pentacles for their career. And Four of Pentacles is all about like holding on to something. So yeah, I think they've been in their field of work for a very, very long time. And then for their hobbies, we have the Five of Cups. Group 1 had this as well, where it was like a kind of sad card for hobbies. I don't know why it keeps happening like that, but anyway, yeah, with their physical appearance, I feel like this person's age could get mistaken a lot. My eyes just went to this 5 and 10, so people could be off by like 5 or even 10 years when they guess this person's age. Like they think this person is 30, but they're actually 40. Maybe if this person is like, I mean, I guess it could happen, like someone thinks they're 18 and they're actually 28, but I feel like that probably happens more when you're older, that you would get mistaken for 10 years. But yeah, they definitely look very youthful. I think it does have to do with their face, but also it's like the way their body moves, they might be very, very energetic and I feel like they're very light on their feet or very agile or something like that. I think they move very gracefully. I also think they dress in a more colorful way and kind of keep up with the trends. Taurus has to do with beauty and material things. So maybe this person really enjoys like clothing as well, or they enjoy like expressing themselves in fashion. I'm just looking at the bright colors on here. This person could be a dancer, because I'm just looking, this person is dancing, or they could just be good at physical stuff of all kinds. Also, this person looks very fair. So they could have a fair complexion or light colored hair. Of course, that will depend on their ethnicity. But like their hair and complexion would be considered to be on the lighter side. It also looks like they probably have straight to wavy hair, because this person has straight hair, that's a bull, but pretty straight hair all around. And it looks shorter. It also looks like this person has bangs or like some kind of hair that could go over their face. And then there's an emphasis on the legs in this photo because the legs are bare. So they could have very nice legs or very muscular legs or something like that. They could also walk to work or bike to work, you know, something where they're using their legs. But yes, this is what I see for their physical appearance. It definitely doesn't have to be all of those things, but if any of those jumped out at you, that's what I see for their appearance. For their career, again, we have this card that talks about like holding on to something. I think some of the things that were coming to my mind is like they could be in something like customer service or something with technology I was feeling before as well. They could also be involved in finances in some way with this Four of Pentacles and with the Taurus energy and with the Page of Pentacles too. Also hearing insurance, like finance, accounting, insurance, anything to do with like homes or real estate, banking. Those are the kind of things that are coming to me. Investments, you know, like financial planner or these kinds of things. And then moving on, we have the Five of Cups for their hobbies. So maybe I can interpret this a little bit in the same way as group one, because they also had kind of a sad card here. This person could use their hobbies as an outlet to get out negative emotion that they have. So if they're feeling sad, if they're feeling stressed, they turn to their hobbies. Just what we spoke about before with this person really liking their comforts and being a very cozy person. I definitely think that one of their hobbies might be just like napping, eating, watching movies, listening to music, like those more kind of laid back things. But with this, there's like water in this picture and kind of snow and ice. Maybe there's some water activity or water sport that this person enjoys, like swimming, boating, fishing, going to the beach, or like winter activities with this ice, so like skiing, snowboarding, skating, snowshoeing, curling. I'm just trying to think of different things, but like something you would do when it's cold, or something you would do in the water or on the water or near the water. That could be a hobby of theirs as well. The Five of Cups card, it could be, maybe it's something that they don't get a lot of time to do, especially if it's an outdoor thing. Maybe there needs to be like very specific conditions so that you can do it. Like, for example, my dad likes snowmobiling, but I feel like a lot of the time it's like the conditions, it has to be a certain kind of snow and like it can't be too cold. I guess it's the same way for skiing and snowboarding and stuff as well, but maybe there's like very specific conditions that they need to do it. And so there's like, because Five of Cups is about like disappointment, and I'm just seeing someone who's like, yes, it's the weekend, I'm gonna go do this, and then they're like, oh no, it's raining, or like, oh no, it's too warm, or it's too cold, or something like that. Yes, so is that the end of the first part? Yes, it is. So we're going to move into part 2 of this reading, which is all about your journey with this person and the different aspects of your relationship. So we're going to start with your journey together, which includes your meeting. So we have the High Priestess. Then getting into the relationship, so you're starting to date now. We have Justice. Then leading up to your marriage. So from dating to marriage, that journey is represented by the Queen of Pentacles. And then your married life together is represented by the Two of Swords. Okay, so we will just go through these in order. With the High Priestess here, the High Priestess, first of all, you can meet this person at night, because the High Priestess just makes me think of nighttime. We also have an owl on this card, so that could be a significant symbol or a significant sign when you're about to meet this person. You could literally see an owl, or owls could be following you around. But owls represent like a deep knowing, and that's what the High Priestess is all about too. So before you meet this person, you might just have a feeling that they're coming into your life without being able to explain why. It's just something that you can sense. It's something that you can feel in your gut. The High Priestess could also indicate that you have a dream about this person before meeting them, or you're having like repeating dreams about this person before meeting them. It might be a situation where like you can't see their face, you can't really see them, but you just know that their energy is there. You can tell it's them. But some of you guys might actually like be able to physically see them. The other thing I wanted to say with this card is that I think that this person is going to come into your life when you have matured and when you've made a decision to stop settling, to stop selling yourself short, to stop lowering your standards to make it easier for people. Like you're starting to demand the treatment that you know you deserve, and you're saying like, I would rather be alone than be with someone who doesn't know my worth. So if that sounds like something you're in the process of doing right now, or something that you've done recently, then is probably a sign that this person is coming in pretty soon. But yeah, there's this feeling of you will just know. And it's interesting, I'm not getting like much information about the circumstances of your meeting aside from it could be at nighttime. So maybe you guys are like, and I don't really get the sense of much other people being there. Like it's not like you're meeting in a group or something like that. So maybe you guys are like going on a date after work or something like that. But it seems like a more quiet and intimate sort of environment that you would be meeting in. So moving on to Justice, this is representing you guys getting into a relationship together. It's interesting, I'm looking at the butterflies on this card, which obviously, and wow, there's a lot of, do all of the cards have like trees and branches and stuff? Not really, but all of these have like trees and branches and stuff on them. But yes, butterflies is a symbol of change and transformation. I feel like you guys could both be a little bit busy when you start dating, or you're going through some kind of like transitional phase. Like one of you is going through, I don't know, like a move, or you're just going through something in your personal life. And I feel like your process between like when you're dating and when you commit to each other might take a bit of time, but I feel like it's something that you're both gonna agree about and that you're both gonna feel good about, because Justice, to me, it's like you are making a mutual decision that makes sense for both of you. So I don't necessarily get the feeling that it's like you're making them wait or they're making you wait. And I feel like throughout the process, you guys are both still putting an equal effort to make the relationship work. And I think you're both being honest about like, I really like you. I really want to see where this goes. I really think we have a future. I'm going through this in my life right now. And then the other person's like, yeah, I understand. I'm going through blah, blah, blah as well. So it's like this mutual agreement, because it's spoken, right? Like you're very clear about your intentions. You're like, we like each other. We're not seeing other people. We want to see where this goes. We're going to wait for each other. We're going to go through some changes. And you have this deep knowing with the High Priestess. So I think that you feel very secure in this. I also think that when you guys commit in a relationship, it's not like one person confessing to the other per se. It's more just like you both know and you both talk about it together. Like things feel very, very balanced and reciprocal in this relationship. I also just got the message like when you're going on dates, you might split the bill, or like they treat you one time and you treat them next time, or they plan the date this time, you plan the date next time. I don't think you guys are keeping score like very strictly by any means, but you never feel like, oh, I'm doing all the work, or I feel bad because they're doing so much. It just feels very like fair and balanced and even. And I also want to say, when it comes to your values in terms of dating, like what you expect from a person that you're dating, like I expect that we don't see other people, or if you have any values regarding like when the relationship would advance to a sexual relationship or something like that, I feel like you guys both mirror each other in those values and those expectations, which makes things rather easy. And I think that you're just both very, very sure of each other. And I just had this image of like, you're both little caterpillars and you're like, okay, I'm going off to become a butterfly now, because you just know that oh, I'm gonna wait for you, and I'm gonna love the butterfly version of you too. I know that when we come back as butterflies, we're still gonna choose each other. So you can go through your respective like transitions and transformations without worrying. And I just thought that was really, really sweet. Like, I loved you as a caterpillar, I'm gonna love you as a butterfly, and like I can't wait to see what you become. So moving on your journey to eventually getting married, we have the Queen of Pentacles. I definitely think that you guys are gonna have a lavish wedding. You know, that's very subjective, so whatever that means for you, whether that's like maybe a small intimate wedding for you is like lavish, maybe a huge party is lavish, maybe a destination wedding, whatever that means for you. But I am kind of getting a fancy vibe and a little bit of a expensive vibe from it. Or it's just like you're being spoiled, you're being showered. It could be that you're receiving a lot of gifts on your wedding day too, or something like that, but that's just the vibe that the Queen of Pentacles is giving me. I think that like all of your loved ones are going to be there. I think you're going to be really happy at that everybody could make it. Queen of Pentacles and all these trees is giving me that strong vibe of like family and roots. Like their whole family's going to be there, your whole family's going to be there. Maybe it's like fewer people but quite a fancy wedding. It does feel very like very intimate. And again, there's this feeling of leading up to getting married, you're very, very sure about it. I feel like you guys are always just very, very sure about each other. Even before you met, you felt so sure that they're coming in. You felt so sure that you're gonna wait for each other. You felt so sure that you want to get married. And I think there's something about your wedding that could be traditional as well with the Queen of Pentacles. Like the way the proposal happens or the way the ceremony is carried out. There may be something about like passing down a tradition. So maybe there's like rings that you use that belonged to your grandparents, or the dress that belonged to your mother, or something like that. And there could also be like many generations at the wedding, like great grandparents, grandparents, children, you know, like this, there's that kind of vibe. I hope that that makes sense. Yeah, and maybe the decor is also traditional, you know, like red roses, and I don't know what a traditional wedding looks like. And it's probably different. No, it is different from country to country. So like, I don't know, if you're from India, maybe you have traditional Indian wedding. If you're from Japan, you have a traditional Japanese wedding. You get the picture. One that like honors your family and honors your heritage. It's that kind of vibe. So moving on to your married life, we have the Two of Swords. So it looks like pretty soon after getting married, you guys would be faced with, oh, wow, okay. You would be faced with some kind of difficult decision. It's really interesting that we had justice earlier on in this reading, because it's like all throughout your relationship, you're very sure and you're very much on the same page about everything. And it looks like it's kind of like right after you get married, this is the first time that you are like maybe faced with a decision that you don't see eye to eye about. You know, before, every time it's like we want the same things, we have the same values on this, like that's good. So this is like your first, oh, I want to go this way, but you want to go that way. And someone has to sacrifice, or we have to think about some sort of compromise. And there's no right answer, because it's not like one of us is right and one of us is wrong. So we kind of have to feel our way through this decision with our intuition, and we have to follow our heart. It could have something to do about like where you're gonna live, like if you're gonna live close to your family or close to their family, or are you gonna take that promotion and be more busy and not be at home as much? Like is that more important, or is it more important that maybe we make less money but you have more quality time? Like something, it's like an external decision that would, you know, change your lives together, that, oh, for the first time we don't see eye to eye on this. So yeah, there's like a little challenge coming up at the beginning of your of your married life. But I think it's a good practice, and I think it's realistic. Like, we don't agree on every single thing all the time. And I'm sure that this would make you closer in the end. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting that there's another row of cards with this deck. We're also going to see the different aspects of your connection. So that includes your physical connection, which is the Three of Pentacles. Your mental connection, which is the Five of Wands. Your emotional connection is the Four of Swords. And your spiritual connection is the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so with your physical connection or physical compatibility being indicated as the Three of Pentacles, first of all, I want to point out that there is a chameleon here. So chameleons are quite adaptable. So I feel like even if you guys had different styles of showing affection or like different preferences when it comes to like physical touch or sex or intimacy or stuff like that, I feel like you can kind of adapt to each other and you can kind of learn from each other, and maybe you kind of pick up on preferences from the other person. So let's say, for example, one of you guys really doesn't like PDA and one of you doesn't care, like, oh, I want to kiss you in public or I want to hug you in public. Maybe at first you don't see eye to eye on it, but then after a while, like, the other person feels more comfortable and it's like, oh, you know what, you can hold my hand in public, and like not like anyone's being pressured. I hope that I'm making that clear, but it's like as you spend time together, you might start to adapt to different like physical or intimate preferences that you guys have. Three of Pentacles is a card that also talks about like putting in a lot of effort. So I feel like you guys are both very generous towards each other and taking the time to understand like what makes you feel good and what you like and what you don't like. Like, you really want to put in the effort to that. I guess I'm getting like kind of a selfless vibe, you know, like I'm not gonna feel good unless I make you feel good kind of thing, which is exactly what you want. So I'm really, really happy to see this. With the Five of Wands representing your mental connection, it's very interesting that earlier in the reading we saw this, like, you're going from this energy of like always being on the same page, and now there's a little bump in the road. With the Five of Wands here, this might be something that at first you take kind of hard, because it's like, oh my God, what happened? I feel like, and it's really nothing but a bump in the road, and it's nothing but an opportunity to become stronger. But if you're coming from this past with each other of like, we never had these conflicts before, we never had these issues before, it could be something that when it happens for the first time, it does feel kind of scary. But with your emotional connection here, the Four of Swords, like, no matter what chaos is going on or what conflict is going on the surface, I feel like at the end of the day, you always feel so calm with each other and you always feel so safe with each other. I just got this image, and this is really sweet. You know how sometimes like people would be in a conflict or they'd be in some kind of argument, and then maybe like someone sleeps on the couch, or, you know, they go to bed angry at each other. I feel like with you two, it's like you would get in a disagreement and then you would go to bed cuddling and be like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about this disagreement? And it's just really sweet, because it's never like you are against each other, or like you're pointing the finger or you're blaming each other. No matter what, you're working together. No matter what, your teammates, you're on the same team. So your emotional connection is never going to feel threatened. It's just that I think mentally it could cause a little bit of like fear, or there's just that inner conflict going there. But yeah, you guys always feel so safe around each other, so calm. I just got a specific message of like one of you maybe used to have trouble sleeping or used to have night terrors or something like that. but then when you're together, like sleeping together in the same bed, you have really, really good sleep, or you have really, really good dreams. It's like your soul is at ease. That's how I could put it. Emotionally, you feel so at ease together. And then finally, with your spiritual connection here, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Like I mentioned before, with this South Node energy, if it does resonate for you guys, it can be indicative of a past life connection. If you resonate with that, I do think the Knight of Pentacles could be indicating that this relationship has gone on for a very, 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 very long time into your past lives. It would make sense with the High Priestess then why you have this knowing when this person is near, or this knowing when this person is going to come into your life. But I'm going to say the same thing that I said for group 1 with this Pentacles energy here, that I'm not sure that spirituality, or like you having a spiritual connection, is a big theme of this reading, or of this marriage, I mean, and also of this reading. Because Knight of Pentacles, or Pentacle cards in general, are definitely more like based in the 3D, based in the tangible things. And the most important thing is like that you chose each other in this lifetime, regardless of your history. The important thing is that you chose each other in this lifetime, and you're going to put in the efforts, you're going to work through your conflicts, and you're going to continue to choose each other every single day. I will say, in terms of like your spiritual journey, I do think that this is a relationship that could help you with patience, and that could help you with trusting the process. You know, patience leading up to meeting this person or getting together with this person, and trusting the process of your evolution from a caterpillar to a butterfly, trusting the process that you'll come back together and you'll still choose each other. This is a relationship that I think really helps with your individual spiritual journey. It helps you to slow down. It helps you to trust. It helps you to let go. Okay, so that is the second part of the reading. So the final part of the reading that we're moving into here is like the how close are you, advice, and time frames. So in terms of how close you are to manifesting this relationship, we have look at the bigger picture with the full moon in Sagittarius. And then we have faith in your dreams with the waxing crescent moon. So in terms of, like, if I look at these two moon phases, from the full moon to a waxing crescent moon, in terms of the moon's cycle, these are two phases that are a little bit far away from each other, just a little bit. So it could be indicating that there's still a little bit of time, there is still more things that will happen before you meet this person, or before you enter into a relationship with them, or before you marry them. It depends where you're at in your journey, right? And I should have mentioned this before, but I'm assuming that at this point in the reading, you'll likely know, like if this is someone you know already or are involved with already, or if this is a new person. But to reach the next stage of your relationship, whether that's meeting in the 3D, getting into a relationship, getting married, it looks like there might still be a little bit more of a ways to go. With this look at the bigger picture, it kind of seems like Spirit is implying that there are other things to focus on right now. So maybe you've been very, very focused on, love and meeting your future spouse and manifesting your soulmate or whatever it might be. And Sagittarius energy asks us to zoom out. So it's a pretty specific message. You're being asked to zoom out and focus on other things right now. Interesting that we have another symbol of a butterfly. It's like there's still transformations for you to go through. And with this message of have faith in your dreams, maybe there's a dream that you guys are meant to pursue. Or if your dream is to come together with this person, it's saying there's other things to focus on right now, but continue to have faith that this is all going to come together when it's meant to. In terms of your advice, we have fire there, another message of transformation, rebirth, and renewal. Yeah, so there's some major transformation taking place in your life before this union happens. And then we have action, awaken the warrior woman within. yeah, there's some big change coming in. There's some action that you're being called to take towards a dream of yours. It's time for you guys to pursue your dream life. It's time for you guys to start your passion project that has maybe been on the back burner. Or it's time for you guys to discover what your passion is. If you're not sure what that is, I do feel like you would be figuring that out pretty soon, and you'll feel called to move towards it. But I think that your life would look quite different, like between the version you are now and the version of your life you'll have when the next step of this union happens. I think your life is going to look quite different in a good way. So for the last part of this reading, we're going to see what time frames you guys should know about. So first we have Uranus, and then we have opposition. So I'm going to name a few time frames that these could be. You'll know what makes the most sense for your situation, depending on like if this person is in your life already or if you're involved with them already. So please claim whichever time frame makes sense for your situation. But on one hand, with opposition, this would be 6 months. So 6 months is an important time frame. With Uranus, this could be indicative of Aquarius season. So late January to late February, that could be another important window for you guys. And then with Uranus as well, Uranus is going to change signs in 2025. If I'm wrong, I will put a subtitle, but I remember I had to look this up before, so I'm pretty certain that it's 2025. Maybe for a lot of you guys, like if you haven't met this person yet, or if you're not together yet, maybe 2025 is like when you're actually going to be getting married. But in terms of the earlier time frames, I feel 6 months, or what did I say? 6 months or Aquarius season. Yeah. And with this, it could be like the second half of 2025 is going to be significant. But yes, group number 2, these are all the messages I'm seeing for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to that one or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you too. Group number 2, I'm sending lots of love to you, to your beautiful spouse, and to your whole spiritual team. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Rose Quartz and the New Moon Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about your future spouse and your married life with them. So this reading is basically going to have 3 different parts. In the first part, we're going to get all of the traits, all of the details, as much info as we can about your future spouse. In the second part, we're going to learn more about your journey and your relationship together. So your meeting, to your dating, to your marriage, and then your married life after. As well as the different aspects of your connection and your compatibility together. And then the third part of the reading is going to be a look at how close you are to manifesting this union, any advice to make the process smoother or quicker, and any significant time frames you should know about. In the intro of this video, I did a little bit more of a specific, like itemized list of what we're gonna be looking at in this reading. If you guys are interested in knowing that before getting into the reading, there will be a timestamp to that part of the intro. But that's basically the gist of what we're going to look at today. The information might come out in a bit of a different order than what I said. That's just how readings go sometimes, but I will be covering all of that info at some point in the reading. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm actually going to start out with the transparent tarot to get our first glimpse into the energy of your future spouse. So this could be their personality, or anything else that you need to know about them. Okay, so for group number 3's future spouse, what are they like? Or what does group 3 need to know about them to start off? What does group 3 need to know? So we have the Ace of Pentacles. And then we have the Moon and the Page of Cups. Ooh, okay. So this deck is so cool how it can like tell a story based on the way you overlap the cards. So with Moon energy here, there will be like an astrological placements part of the reading where we'll look more into what zodiac signs this person might have. But I will say that because we have the Moon here, this could be indicative of this person having Pisces placements or a lot of 12th house placements, or Pisces season could be significant. I think it's very interesting the order that they came out in. We have the Ace of Pentacles and then the Moon, and then the way the Page comes out, it looks like they're running away from the Pentacle and towards the Moon. I think that when you meet this person, they will be going through a very interesting transition in their life, and this almost kind of looks like a spiritual awakening. I think that up until now in their life, they've put a lot of importance on like security and making money and having a good head on their shoulders and living in a very practical way, in a very conservative way, just following tradition or following what was expected of them. And I think that at the time that you meet this person, they will have established, at least what it looks like on the outside, they will have established a pretty great life for themselves, at least materially, or at least, you know, like I said, what it looks like superficially. And I feel like, and this is kind of a pattern that I've seen a few times in these kind of readings, so I wonder if it's like the same people picking this group and they're like getting the same description. But even though they have everything that one would consider to make you successful or fulfilled or happy, like on paper, it looks like they have this amazing life, they might be at a point in their life where they feel like just something is missing, something that they can't really put their finger on. Like their soul is yearning for something more, something deep in their heart is longing for more. And I just heard like maybe you guys listening to this can relate to this as well. This might be a journey that you guys went through or that you're actually going through right now. If that's the case, it doesn't mean that you're going to marry yourself, because I see so many comments like that. Like, this sounds like me, I guess I'm just going to end up alone. That's not the case. If this sounds like you, it means that you guys are mirroring each other. It means that you're going through similar experiences. But I feel like this person wasn't made for that. They weren't made to live out society's version of success and have like, you know, this stable corporate job and the white picket fence and the nuclear family. I'm just, you know, throwing out keywords around, but you know, the textbook definition of success, the textbook definition of having it all together. Because I feel like at the heart of this person is a free spirit, is a very creative spirit, is a sensitive soul. And I feel like they're reaching a point in their life where they want more. They want spontaneity in their life again. They want like surprise and adventure in their life again. I feel like they're tired of the same routine over and over and over. Like, sure, it's secure. Sure, I have stability in my life, but like, where's the soul? Where's the soul? Where's the passion? And I feel like this person is on a search for that passion. And I feel like they're entering into a chapter of their life where they're doing a lot of soul searching and where they're awakening to who they are as a soul. Like, they're getting to know their higher self. They're getting to understand why they are here. They might even be going through some sort of like spiritual experience or like awakening experience that really, it's like a defining moment that really awakens them, where they realize like there's more to life than this. I have this beautiful, vibrant soul, and this soul has a calling, and this soul has a heart that's on fire, and I want to explore that more. So they're going through this transition where they want to start living for their soul now, and they want to start doing what really, really fulfills them. I think that this person is highly spiritually gifted. I feel like straight up this person is psychic, and I feel like they would definitely have an affinity for esoteric or spiritual things, or things that are not of this physical world. However, they might have grown up in a family or in an environment that didn't really value that, or that didn't really believe that, or in some cases even like condemned, I think is the word, condemned those kinds of beliefs or those kinds of behaviors. Sometimes I see comments or people reach out to me that like their friends and family look down on tarot, or they think that these kind of occult or spiritual things even are like evil, or they just have no place in their life, in their daily practice. I feel like this person grew up in an environment that was very like no nonsense, and I'm not saying that spirituality is nonsense. Obviously, I don't believe that way, but I think this is how they would see it. Like, we're just gonna deal with the stuff that is right in front of us. And that's actually something that could have been quite damaging, because I'm just thinking of things like insecurities or mental health struggles or mental illness. These are not things that you can necessarily see or that you can necessarily touch, but they are there. And I could see that maybe, and this is sad, but I could see that maybe in younger years, this person's struggles were invalidated. You know, like, I don't feel happy, I feel like something is wrong. Maybe they were struggling mentally, and the adults around them, whether that was parents, teachers, all of the above, community members, were like, what are you talking about? You have a good family, you have a good roof over your head, like, or like, there's no way you're depressed because you're still doing well in school, like you're still on top of all your stuff. But they couldn't see the things that were hiding below the surface. And that's what the moon is all about. It's like the things that are hiding in the shadows, the emotions that are very real, but maybe are not so seen. And I just feel like this person grew up in an environment that didn't have a lot of tolerance, or didn't have the capability to see the unseen, to see beyond the physical realm, and to look into the realm of emotions, into the realm of the subconscious, into the realm of the spirit. It's like there was no room to express yourself in that way. And I feel like finally this person is finding their freedom, and they're dashing towards this moon. They're dashing towards their inner world, their unseen world, exploring their creativity, exploring their dreams, exploring their spiritual side. So they're on this very exciting journey of like self-discovery and learning to embrace their true self. I feel for them, but I also think that they're about to embark, or they are on a journey that's very beautiful. It's like they're coming home to their dreamy, Piscean, sensitive, creative, romantic, free spirit that they've always been. They're coming home to themselves. They're finally giving themselves permission to close their physical eyes and open their third eye. And I'm so happy for them. And if this sounds like a journey that you guys have been on, or that you are on right now, I'm so happy for you as well. I'm getting the vibe that this person is very funny or very silly. Like, they make you laugh a lot, and they're always surprising you. Like, they're surprising you with gifts, or they're surprising you with experiences. They're surprising you with these little things that they remember about you, even if you don't remember when you told them. They're just always keeping you on your toes. They are stimulating you intellectually. I feel like this person shows you a lot of new art, you know, sharing music, sharing movies, sharing artists that they like. They're surprising you all the time with their very wise insights about life. Where did you hear that? Where did you hear that? That's so beautiful. Oh, I just came up with it. It's like, even if this person didn't grow up in an environment that was supportive of this kind of deep spiritual thinking, they have so much wisdom in them that's just generated from within. Like, they were always so connected to their soul, and they always understood what this life was really about. And I think that you guys could have some beautiful, deep discussions, like with the moon here, having beautiful discussions late into the night. And this is definitely someone who is incredibly accepting and understanding and compassionate. Animals are coming to my mind very strongly. This person could have an affinity for animals as well. They might own a lot of animals, or they want to in the future. Or animals tend to like want to be near them or take notice of them. I think animals really like their vibe because they have a very pure soul. Or they could have a career that is involved in animals, like a veterinarian, or I don't know what else, but something where animals are involved. Maybe they volunteer at a shelter or something like that. But yes, this is like the first glimpse that we're seeing into them. So now let's take a look at zodiac placements that could be significant. So it could be that they literally have these placements, or this could just be their general energy. So we have Venus with love. They could have Venus in Pisces as well. We have the North Node with fate, destiny, life goals, lessons, journey, calling, mission, challenges, soul purpose, the future, karma, learning curve, the destination. And then we have Cancer, intuition to protect, attitudes from the past, resulting from the history. Yeah, it's like intuition, feelings, protectiveness, the past. Yeah, so this person could have Venus in Pisces, or they could have Venus in Cancer. We also have a bit of earth energy here with this Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles represents all earth signs. So it could be, for example, this person is an earth sun with a water Venus, or a water sun with an earth Venus, or something like that. But with love here, I'm taking this very literally. I definitely think that this person is a lover at heart. This person is very romantic. This person is very compassionate. They seek to see the good in everyone. And I think this person has a lot of forgiveness in their heart. Like, they could never be bitter. They could never hold a grudge. Even this Ace of Pentacles, or this past that they're running away from, they would never feel resentful about it. And in fact, I think this is someone who is grateful for their past and grateful for all of the struggles that they've been through and the person it's made them today. This person is very, very creative. I feel like they do some kind of art, even if that's not their career, although it very well could be. And I think that they're very good at channeling their emotions into art, and they're very good at channeling emotions that most of us cannot really place. You know, like when you feel a longing that you can't really place, or you feel a sadness that you can't really place, I feel like this person can put it into words. So maybe they're very good at writing or poetry, or like they write lyrics or something like that. And you read what they've written and you're like, that's it, that's the emotion, that's the feeling, that's the experience. You know, because Piscean and subconscious energy, it slips through your hands. It's very abstract. It's very hard to pinpoint. But this person is so connected to that subconscious world, and, you know, digging things out of it that we can all relate to. And I think they really have a gift for touching and moving people at their core level with their art. Definitely getting artist vibes from this person. Again, even if that's not their career. I also think they could have a really good eye for like visuals and aesthetics and things like that. So this person could dress really well, or again, they could have a career where like visuals and aesthetics are important. Architect just came to my mind, like architect or landscaping, or photography, or a stylist, or anything like that. Some kind of designer. I'm sure you guys can fill in the blanks, but something where visuals and aesthetics are important, or that's the career that they're going to move towards in the future. With fate here, I think this is someone who has felt destiny play a huge role in their life. There could also be something quite serendipitous about the way that you meet this person, where you feel like, wow, this was no coincidence that we both ended up here at the same time. With that being said, I don't think that you're planning to meet this person, so I don't necessarily think that it's like you know, you got someone to set you up, or you met on a dating app or something like that. I think that the way you guys meet is just like you happen to be at the same place, you bumped into each other, someone struck up a conversation. It feels very nonchalant, if that's the right word. It feels very like in passing. It feels by chance. And I can hear this narrator saying like, and they never knew that this encounter on this day would change their life forever. So maybe you don't even realize in the moment, like, this is the person I'm gonna marry, or I'm gonna end up with this person. It's like you just bumped into each other. Maybe you even like know each other from before, and then years later you happen to bump into each other again. Like, you grew up together in the States and then you bump into each other in freaking like in Spain or something, and it's like, what are you doing here? There's something about the way you cross paths that is very, very significant. For some of you, it could be like, oh my gosh, that person was so attractive, but I'm never gonna see them again. I should have got their number. And then you bump into each other again. Like something feels faded. The universe keeps trying to bring you guys together. This is definitely someone who's very ambitious. Like they're always striving for the next goal. I think this is someone who is like really spontaneous, or who craves adventure and who craves for expansion. I know it's not here, but I would also say that maybe this person has like Sagittarius energy. Yeah, I think so. And I think with learning curve here and the destination, this person really feels like life, it's like a lifelong journey of learning. You're never finished learning. You're never finished healing. You're never finished at all. You just keep expanding. You keep learning. You keep experiencing. You keep getting better. They really see life just like this, as a journey, as an adventure. And they would see their spouse, aka you, as like a travel companion through this life, through this journey. I think that this person will be very nurturing towards you, very affectionate towards you. These two crabs snuggling up together is making me think that this person is quite snuggly. I think that they give amazing hugs. Like they will hug you very tight and you'll feel very, very warm. There's something about their eyes, like when they smile and laugh, it really goes all the way to their eyes and really lights up their eyes, and that's very, very beautiful. They could have pretty eyelashes too with this moon. And also looking, there's an emphasis on cheeks here. We'll get into physical appearance in just a second, but they could have, you know, rosy cheeks or really nice cheekbones, or they could have dimples in their cheeks or freckles on their cheeks. There's something about their cheeks that is significant. With the shape, the circle shapes here, this person could have like a rounder face, you know, like a fuller, rounder face, or maybe they have round eyes or a round nose or something like that. But yeah, let's actually get into that. The next card that I want to look at here does have to do with physical appearance. So we have the Tower. For their career, we have the Chariot. And for their hobbies, I should have said what these are. Physical appearance, career, and hobbies. We have the Two of Inspiration, or the Two of Wands. So you see this card? I feel like this little person falling is you. I think you are gonna find this person so unbelievably attracted that you're just gonna be dead when you see them. You're gonna be incredibly, incredibly attracted to them. I don't know if you guys have a type or if you have certain features that you think are really, really hot, but you're gonna find this person to be very, very beautiful, as if you were like struck by lightning. This person here, they look quite tall. They look quite slender as well. It looks like they're carrying themselves with confidence. This is almost giving me like runway model vibes, which is interesting because we got that they have like a very good aesthetic. They have a very good eye. I think this is someone, when they walk into the room, they really command attention, or like people, you know, everybody has their eyes on them. Even though they're all dressed in black in this card, there could be something about their fashion that is like odd. Just lightning makes me think of like unconventionality or something like that. So there could be something unique about the way that they dress. And then you can't really see this person's face in this card, so there could be something kind of mysterious about them. I feel like they might have dark colored eyes and dark colored hair because of this person as well. And they could have facial features. It's like, it's kind of hard to tell, not facial features, facial expressions. It's kind of hard to tell what they're thinking or how they're feeling about you. So after your first interaction, you can be wondering if they liked you. Like maybe they just have a very serious face. Their personality is definitely not serious though, because I think they're quite like funny and playful, but yeah, they definitely know how to present themselves. And I think they come across as like confident yet mysterious. I feel like they might not be super approachable because like you're nervous to be around them because they're just so attractive. And yeah, what else did I say? Dark hair and eyes, tall, more on the slender side, round, something about round features, and something about cheeks, and their eyes are very like beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so, and also towers are tall, so like they could be tall. Yeah, anyway, sorry. This person could live in like a really high apartment building as well with the tower, or they could live somewhere or be from somewhere where there's a famous tower, like, you know, France has the Eiffel Tower, or Italy has the Tower of Pisa, Canada has the CN Tower. I don't know if that's that famous. It's the Tokyo Tower in Tokyo, you know, something about a tower. Anyway, moving on to the Chariot. One thing about this person's career, they could be moving around quite a bit for work. So they could go on business trips, or they could have that kind of work where like they're free to do it wherever they want. I'm kind of getting the vibe that 2 careers might come through. So maybe they have 2 jobs, or maybe this is them going through a career change where they have like their old career and then their new career. But I feel like the one that they're moving towards is something more creative, something where they're more free. I should say this is also, Chariot is also Cancer energy. So we have double Cancer here. We did talk about it could have something to do with aesthetics. With the Chariot, this is also like transportation. That's giving me transportation kind of vibes. So like pilot, driver, some kind of captain. Maybe they could like, maybe they worked as like a car salesman, or like, what is it called? A dealer of some kind for vehicles, or yeah. Or travel agent, something to do with travel and transportation, something to do with aesthetics. It could also be, we said animals before and there's horses here, something to do with animals. Maybe they're like a horse rider, a horse racer, or a horse trainer, or something like that. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Animals, aesthetics, transportation. Could also be something to do with homes, because like Cancer energy is the home. So if we compare like homes and aesthetics, not compare, put together, it can be like interior design or construction, or again, architect. I think I mentioned that before. Real estate agent. It could be all kinds of things. But I do think that their career is something where they would kind of be in the forefront. They would have to be outgoing with this solar plexus energy here. So they're probably dealing with people a lot in their day-to-day, as opposed to doing something that is more behind the scenes. I also want to mention there's quite a bit of Mars energy here. There's Venus, but then Tower is ruled by Mars, and the Two of Wands is also ruled by Mars. It's Mars in Aries. So this person could have their Mars in Aries, or they have like dominant Mars energy. But Chariot's about balance too. So I think this is showing them having a really good balance between their masculine energy and their feminine energy, and not like, they don't have any unhealthy relationships with their masculine side or feminine side. They don't judge or shame any aspects of them. And I think they just let it all come out. I think this person has a really healthy relationship with themselves, or that's what they're coming into. In terms of their hobbies, this definitely looks like travel to me. Like she's looking out for the next destination. So I think travel is definitely a hobby of this person. Also with the telescope, they could be into something that has to do with space or the stars. Maybe they like stargazing, maybe they're into astrology or something like that. And then with that Mars and Aries energy from the Two of Wands, this could also have something to do with their physical body. So there might be some sort of sport or exercise or physical activity that they enjoy doing. Hiking is coming to my mind because I'm just imagining, you know, this person is looking out for their next destination, the next place to go hiking or camping, because then they can be traveling and they can also be stargazing. So outdoorsy stuff, physical activities, and travel, I think would be this person's hobby. And then also definitely art, like we spoke about before. I think this person is very, very into the arts. The camera really wants to focus on this freaking moon. That's crazy. Anyway, so that concludes the section of the reading where we look at their traits. So we're gonna move into your journey together and your relationship together. So first we're going to take a look at your journey together. So that starts with your meeting. What should we know about group 3's meeting with this deck? Is so pretty. I love the gold edges. What should we know about group 3's meeting with their future spouse? We already know it's going to feel kind of serendipitous. We have the Three of Wands. This will likely happen when you go somewhere you've never been before, or you're doing something you've never done before. It could be when you're traveling as well. And someone will have to be bold and someone will have to be brave and make the first move, like go up and strike up a conversation. With this energy of threes, one thing, and maybe this will only resonate for a few of you, but I'm getting the feeling of like one of you needs to go up to talk to the other person, like to start a conversation, but the other person is with someone. Like for example, let's say you're a straight woman and you're like out with your male friend. And then this person, also a man, is like, oh, I thought maybe that was your boyfriend. So like, I didn't want to come up to you. And you're like, oh no, that was just my friend. But it's like, maybe there's a third party there that could make things a little bit awkward. Cause you're like, is that their partner? Are they in a relationship? Or maybe you're just with a group of friends and or they're with a group of friends and they all look like really well dressed and intimidating. And you're like, how do I go up and talk to them? I think there's like third parties present that make that move of going up and striking the conversation a little bit like nerve-wracking or a little bit scary is kind of how it feels. But yeah, you're somewhere new, you've never been before, doing something you've never done before. You like bump into each other or catch each other's eye and you're just going up and starting a conversation. So what about getting into the relationship, getting into dating? We have the 10 of Cups. Yeah, so getting together is really going to feel too good to be true. I feel like, oh my gosh, we have the moon at the bottom of the deck. And it's so funny because I was just thinking, probably they're gonna make the move towards you. And then the moon was at the bottom of the deck, almost as if to confirm, yes, it's gonna be them. And I think they're gonna make a really big deal about it. They're gonna make a really big deal out of asking you to be their significant other. They're gonna kind of go above and beyond. Remember that this person surprises you, right? So I think they're gonna do something really sentimental or really romantic for you, because they are very romantic as well. And kind of go over the top and show you how much they care and how thoughtful they are towards you. It's gonna be like a big grand gesture when they ask you to be their significant other, and you're just gonna be over the moon. It's gonna feel it's gonna feel like a dream come true. I just keep looking at 3 and 10. March 10th might be a significant date, or October 3rd might be a significant date. Maybe you guys meet because you pretend you don't know what day it is and you ask them what date and they say it's October 3rd. But yeah, those could be important dates, and it's gonna be amazing. And yeah, I think they're gonna make the offer to you, likely with some kind of gift or some kind of extravagant date as well. Maybe they like serenade you, or they write a song about you, because they definitely have that romantic and artsy vibe to them. So what about going into your marriage? We have the King of Cups here. So it's interesting. The last group got, I think it was the Queen of Pentacles. So this is providing an interesting contrast for me. I feel like you guys, there's a really big emphasis when you get married of like, we don't need a big fancy wedding. We don't need a lot of fancy things. We don't need a lot of fancy gifts. As long as we're together. And this is just about celebrating our love and being with the ones we love. With this group, I could see it going a couple ways. I could see a lot of you just having kind of a very small and intimate wedding with the people that you really, really care about, so that, you know, there's not the stress of planning this big event, or like, you know, talking to all these people that you don't really know, or that you just had to invite for formality or whatever. It feels very close-knit. It feels like an environment that is full of love. It feels very intimate. I just heard like some of you guys have to keep your wedding low-key. I don't know, maybe like it's like one of you guys has a high status, or one of you guys is a public figure, or one of your friends is, you know, like maybe you or this person are like friends with someone who's kind of a big deal, and they're gonna be at your wedding, so you have to keep it a little bit, like you have to keep it low key, I think, for some reason. King and Queen of Cups is like low key and intimate vibes, and it's not about all the material stuff. And I mean, it shouldn't be anyway, so maybe it goes without saying, but it's like, I feel like both of you are at this place where you won't really be caring about all of that stuff. Even if now you're like, oh yeah, I definitely want a big fancy wedding and drop a bunch of money on it and have a big show of it. I think when it comes down to it, you're like, it's not worth the stress. I want to keep things simple, and I just want this to be about love at the end of the day. What else can I say with the King of Cups? It's very likely that you guys will have some kind of baby in your home, whether that is a human baby or a non-human baby, because King and Queen of Cups give me like parenting vibes or nurturing kind of vibes. It could also be that there's like children at your wedding. Maybe like your flower girl is a cute little girl and your ring boy is a cute little boy. Or if maybe there's something different that you do in your country or in your culture with people playing different roles in your wedding. But I think that there might be like children in the wedding party. And I think it's going to be very, very sweet. All of this Cups energy is extremely sweet. And I think that your anniversary is going to be really special time every year. And you'll notice that every year the love doesn't ever fade, and you're always just as happy to be with each other. Let's take a look now at your married life. So for your married life, we have the 9 of Swords. So there are going to be some things as you're getting adjusted to your married life that might give you a little bit of anxiety. One thing that I'm thinking of is like, maybe you guys are like going through a big move together. Maybe this is like, because I said maybe you guys met when you're traveling or they're traveling or something. For some of you, this could be like an international long distance relationship. But it looks like when you're first getting married, there's like a big transition that you have to go through. So maybe one of you is moving, or both of you are doing a big move together, or maybe like there's a baby on the way, you're starting a family. And I feel like there could be things that are causing you Yeah, we have the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So maybe for many of you, it does have to do with like children and starting a family, and you're worried. Maybe you don't feel ready. Maybe you don't feel prepared. And I could sort of see doubts like creeping into your mind. But the thing with the Nine of Swords is that it's really just your mind like running away. It's almost like, I often say with the Nine of Swords, what you're afraid of is not going to happen. But I feel, honestly, I feel a little bit of panicky energy. Like, how are we going to make it through this move? How are we going to make it through this transition? And I feel like it's during these times with the King of Cups here that your spouse is going to be a really like soothing, a really soothing and really reassuring influence for you. We have the Four of Swords coming out, a very calming energy, very healing, very soothing energy. Everything that you guys are worried about is not going to materialize. And I will say there were other groups that had kind of challenging energies after their wedding, and maybe that's just normal, like adjusting to this new chapter of your life and going through all the changes. It can be stressful, especially like if you're welcoming a new member to your family. It can just be a stressful time and your emotions can be all over the place. And I think what you're going to find is that this spouse is such a calming and reassuring oh, we have the Lovers. I just cut the deck and we have the Lovers. Such a calming and reassuring presence in your life, and all of your fears are going to be addressed, and all of your fears are going to be reassured. Okay, so now let's take a look at the different aspects of your compatibility. So this includes physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. For your physical compatibility, we have the Six of Wands. For your mental compatibility, we have the Hermit. That is also amazing. For your emotional compatibility, we have the Ten of Wands. Interesting. And for your spiritual compatibility or your spiritual connection, we have the Moon. Very, very interesting. You know what vibe I'm getting from that? Definitely this is the story of your future spouse's journey, like their soul calling them to a new life. And maybe you guys resonated with this as well. I feel like your higher self was calling them when they were in this life that was out of alignment, when they were in this, living this persona that wasn't really them. I feel like your higher self called them out of that and towards their true self, towards the Moon. And I think that their higher self has called you out of the darkness many times as well and pulled you towards the version of yourself that you're meant to be. So I think your higher selves have been together for a long time and have helped each other the same way you do for each other in the 3D, helping each other out of your fears and anxieties and calming each other down. Your higher selves have always had each other's back, have always been looking out for each other. When you feel like a sense of calm washing over you, that means that this person's higher self is around you. And I think you guys have a very, very special spiritual bond. I think your souls are very, very close to each other and like each other very, very much. With the Moon here, you could also dream about each other quite a bit, whether that's, before you meet, after you meet, after you're married. I feel like you show up in each other's dreams quite a bit. You could also have a very good way of like sensing how the other person is feeling. So let's back up a little bit with the Six of Wands here. This is telling us about your physical compatibility. The first thing I'm seeing here is that you guys make each other feel so confident. Maybe you guys were confident already, but like in the way that you look, in your body, in asking for what you want, in communicating in those more like physically intimate situations, like you just make each other feel so good. When you're together, you're like, damn, I'm so hot. Like you're just really feeling yourself and you're really feeling each other and you feel so secure and you feel so beautiful. You just make each other feel really, really good and really, really, really confident. And I think that this is a physical relationship that has a lot of positive reinforcement. I think that you communicate a lot and give each other a lot of that, positive reinforcement, whether that's through your words or through your reactions. It's like you drive each other crazy and you know it, because you can just see it on their face. You can just see it in the way that they're like responding to you, in the way that they're moving, and it just boosts your confidence. I'm blushing a little bit. There's definitely a lot of passion in this relationship. And, Six of Wands is also like, people are admiring you. I think that people just know, like when you're out together, people can just tell that you're so close. People can just tell that you have an amazing relationship. This person, I don't know if they're necessarily into PDA. They could be, but they don't have to be. But I'm getting the vibe of like, if you're out together, they would just, casually keep their arm around you or keep their hand on you in some way, or just keep you close by. It's like they want to be in physical proximity to you. And it's almost unconsciously like they want to be like, yeah, that's my person. They want to let people know that you're together. And I think that they're really, really proud of that. And definitely this feeling of you guys being so physically attracted to them, that's totally mutual. And I think it always kind of feels like you have a crush on each other, which is really, really sweet. So, like if you had your first kiss with your crush or like intimate experience with your crush, you'd be like, oh my God, it's them, it's them. Like you would keep having this feeling, even if it's like the 400,000, well, that's a lot, 4,000 time you're together, I don't know, you'll still feel like, oh my God, I can't believe I get to do this with you. And it's like, it's totally mutual and it's very sweet. So when it comes to your, I just noticed we have a 6 and a 9 next to each other. Anyway, sorry, I'm like 5 years old. So in terms of your mental connection, we have the Hermit, which I think is amazing because the Hermit shows someone who has the ability to be introspective, someone who is self-aware. They're very aware of their strengths and weaknesses. They're very aware of what they like and don't like, what they will do and won't do, like their boundaries, I guess I can say like that. And the direction that they're going in life. I think both of you guys are very mature and very self-aware, and you're also very like spiritually evolved. So you guys both take responsibility for yourselves in the relationship. I think you are amazing at communicating and solving problems on most things, and I will get to that in a second. But you're very good at communicating and solving problems, and I think that you guys can have really, really deep conversations. I think that when you guys meet for the first time, you're probably just going to skip right past the small talk. You just like don't need that, and you get right into really deep discussions. And one thing I think that's very beautiful about your conversations is like you would always leave the conversation with things to reflect on. Like, wow, they really spoke some words of wisdom. I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna process what they said. There might be specific like quote from this person that you go back to a lot in your life, or that they go back to a lot, something that you said that really, really sticks with them and that really, really guides them in life. But you give each other amazing wisdom to reflect on and amazing advice, and you just have the deepest conversations. I think, did I say something about this earlier? Like you can have amazing conversations. You could literally like, what is it called? Talk into the wee hours of the morning, or talk until the middle of the night. You could have really, really long phone calls with each other. You can just get lost in each other's mind. So there's a really, really good mental connection here as well. So with the 10 of Wands, there's like one thing that you or them or both of you guys are kind of struggling with when it comes to how you connect emotionally. I think that one or both of you has learned or has internalized that you have to carry your emotions all by yourself. So like, if I'm sad, if I'm struggling, that's my problem. I shouldn't bother anyone else with it. I shouldn't mention it. and I have to just deal with it. I have to figure it out by myself because no one's going to help me, or I can't expect anyone to help me. I could definitely see them having internalized that at some point, just because it seems like I said before, the environment that they grew up in was kind of averse to those unseen things, like mental health, emotional intelligence. But maybe you guys resonate with that as well. Like, you just feel like you have to do everything on your own. I'm getting a specific message of someone who was like the oldest sibling, and their family was like struggling, or they had a lot of younger siblings, and they had to just kind of close off their own needs and take care of their younger siblings, or like take care of those relatives who needed more attention. And so it was always this feeling like, it's not about me, it's not about me, it's not about me, and just have to bottle everything up to the point where like now they just do it unconsciously. They don't even have that thought of like, I'm repressing emotions right now. It just happens like that. So I think this is something that you or them or both of you guys will need to work on in order to have the happiest emotional connection. But I'm not too worried about it, just judging from everything else that we've seen in your compatibility, and that you have the capacity to dig deep with the Hermit, to have these deep conversations, that you're very nurturing towards each other with the King of Cups. This is definitely something that will be worked on. And then, yeah, we spoke about this moon and your spiritual connection already. So yeah, this concludes the second part of the reading. So we're going to move into the last part, which is about manifesting the union with this person. So at this point in the reading, I am assuming that you would know maybe by now if this is someone you already know of, or someone you're already involved with. So when we talk about manifesting union, this could be like meeting them, meeting them in the 3D if you haven't met them yet. It could be getting into a relationship with them. It could be marrying them, like whatever the next step is for your individual situation. So in terms of how close you are, we have hold your vision, and your commitment is being tested. Interesting. Okay, so these are actually the exact same phase of the moon, but because these messages are making it seem like we need to be patient, we need to wait a little bit longer, for this moon to go through a cycle and come back to this moon phase, that would be a full cycle. So I'm thinking maybe there's something about 1 full year that is significant for you guys. I definitely think you're on the right path when it comes to manifesting this union, and it's just a matter of being patient. I don't see anything in terms of like you're out of alignment, you need to change this or that. You're exactly where you need to be. You're doing exactly what you need to do. And it's just patience, which maybe it could be a bit of a frustrating message depending on your situation, but this is what your guides are showing me with these 2 cards. So advice for you, yeah, we have flow. See where it takes you. So there's nothing you need to purposely change or actively change. Just live naturally, do things as they come naturally to you. I would say, if there's any advice, like be open to new experiences with that 3 of Wands, which is like doing something you haven't done before, doing something spontaneous, saying yes to invitations and offers, and just being open to trying new things, even if it's a little bit different than what you envision yourself doing. That could be something that helps this process come faster. And we have nature with notice the harmony around you. So you'll find as you move along your path that spirit is dropping you so many signs that you're on the right path. And spirit wants you to know that the universe is always working in your favor. And just because something is taking more time, it doesn't mean that it's not working out in your favor. Different things just take different amounts of times. In nature, every tree, every flower, every blade of grass, it has its own time of how long it needs to sprout and blossom and grow to its full size. And no one is better than the other one. It's all a beautiful process. And the tree that takes longer to grow is nothing wrong with that tree. That tree doesn't need to do anything differently. It needs to respect and honor its process and just be patient and I want to say marvel at where it's at in its journey and just see where it takes them. For group 2, there was advice to kind of zoom out. Maybe that could be helpful advice for this group as well. Like if you're really, really focused on manifesting this or coming together with this person, to just zoom out and enjoy your day-to-day, enjoy your present moment as much as you can. But the universe is promising, if you look around, you will see signs and synchronicities always that you're on the right path and that things are working in your favor. So finally, let's take a look at these last 2 cards to see any significant time frames that you should know about. Again, I was feeling like 1 full year is a significant time frame for some of you guys. We have mutable. I feel like Pisces season is going to be super important because we had the moon coming through twice, and then I thought maybe this was talking about March 10th, and Pisces is a mutable sign. So maybe it's like whenever you're watching this, it could be the next Pisces season, it could be the one after that as well. And look, then we have 3. So like the month of March, which is also in Pisces season. I think for some of you, this could also be 3 years. Again, this is a general reading and there's many different things that these time frames could apply to. It could be when you're meeting, when you're getting in a relationship, when you're getting married. But 1 year and 3 years are being indicated here. And then March or Pisces season is also significant to this relationship. But group 3, these are all the messages I'm seeing for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to that one or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 3, I'm sending lots of love to you, to your lovely spouse, and to your whole spiritual team, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the Flower Agate and the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about your future spouse and your married life together. I got a little stand for you guys for your stone because the round ones tend to like jiggle and roll around, so hopefully that will keep it in place. So basically there's going to be 3 different parts to this reading. In the first part, we are going to get a bunch of traits, a bunch of details about your future spouse. In the second part, we're going to see about your journey together, so you're meeting, you're dating, you're getting married, and then into your married life, as well as explore the different aspects of your compatibility. And then in the third part, we're going to see where you're at in terms of manifesting this union, how close you are to manifesting, and any advice to make the process easier or quicker, as well as any timeframes that you should know about. In the intro of this video, I gave a much more detailed breakdown of what we were going to look at, like the different traits we were going to be looking for and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in checking that out before you get into the reading, there will be a timestamp to go back to that part of the intro. But that's sort of the gist of what we're going to be looking at today. The information might come out in a bit of a different order than what I said because readings just happen like that a lot of the time, but I will be covering all of that at some point in the reading. So to start, I'm just going to set this aside because I want to start off with the transparent tarot to get our first glimpse at your future spouse's energy. So this could be their personality or just anything that you need to know about them right off the bat. Oh my gosh, what did I do to this deck? Okay, let's try that again. There, that's better. So, For group number 4's future spouse, what are they like? Or what does group 4 need to know about them? So to start off, we have the 4 of Wands. That's an amazing card to open with in a future spouse reading, because it's literally a card that talks about weddings and divine unions and happiness and contentment and celebration. Really, really nice energy to open up with. Then we have the 7 of Swords. Very interesting. And then your final card is the 10 of Wands. Okay, wow, I really, really feel for both of you. I think that, you know, technically I wanted this part of the reading to be just, you know, describing your future spouse, but I think that this is actually describing both of you and sort of what you've experienced up until now. I feel like these two people are you. Obviously, you're coming together in this union and you're building your future together and you're building your happiness together. And I feel like these two cards are representing where you've come from. I don't know the zodiac associations for these cards. I do know that the 4 of Wands represents Venus in Aries. So your future spouse could be in Aries, or they could have Venus in Aries, which means that their sun could be in Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, or Gemini. We're going to have another part of the reading where we look deeper into astrological placements, but that's just what I see right off the bat. But it looks like when you guys are coming into each other's lives, it might be at a point where you're either not looking for love or you're kind of doubting love. When I first saw the 4 of Wands and the 7 of Swords come out, I felt like, okay, someone doesn't believe in true love, or somebody has their guard up. And I feel like one of you maybe is coming from a past where you were betrayed, maybe you were cheated on, or you were lied to in a very big way by a past partner. And then one of you comes from a past of like unreciprocated connections or one-sided connections, feeling like you have to carry all of the weight. And so I just feel like in the trials and the struggles that you two have been through, you may be coming to a place where you're just kind of weary, or maybe you've just been waiting for each other for a really, really long time, and you're starting to wonder like if your spouse is really out there, if your forever person is really out there. And I'm almost feeling like energy of the Star card, this feeling of something being too good to be true, this feeling of a dream seeming so distant, feeling like maybe you'll never get there. And when you find each other, it's like your wildest dreams are coming true. It's almost like, you know, I was even kind of giving up on the idea of finding someone, but then I found someone who's like everything I ever dreamed of, who's like the perfect partner. I feel like, first of all, I feel like this person's gonna come into your life when you least expect it, or, you know, come into union when you least expect it. But I genuinely think that this person is like your perfect partner. I don't know if you guys do manifesting, if there's like specific, you know, traits that you write down when you're looking for your ideal partner, or if you just really, really have a strong idea of what you want your life partner to be like. But this person is that. And I'm not like saying this just to make you guys happy. This is what I really see with the 4 of Wands. This is like one of the happiest cards in tarot, especially for love, especially for marriage. Well, it's just happy in general. And I feel very emotional looking at this 4 of Wands. I could see like when you guys are saying your vows to each other, that's what it's called, right? When you say your little speech to each other at the wedding, I think that's what the vows are. I think that's the same thing. But I could see you guys getting, you know, very teary-eyed, getting very emotional when you look back on your journey, when you look back on what you've been through before meeting each other, when you look back on what you've been through together. It's like that feeling of, I walked this long journey and I'm finally coming home. I can finally rest my weary head. That's like the comfort and security that you guys bring to each other. This is someone who has a lot of integrity I also want to mention the Strength card, even though it's not here. This is someone who has so much inner strength and so much kindness. And it's like, if people mistreated this person or if people hurt this person, they could have just become bitter and gotten revenge on them, or, you know, treated others the same bad way that they were treated. But they always kept their integrity, and they always sought to treat people how they wanted to be treated and to act with kindness, that they could, you know, go to bed every day knowing that they're the person that they want to be. Like, this person never lost their integrity. They never lost their kind heart, even if they've been through some harsh experiences in the world, even though their patience has been tested, even though their hope has been tested. They always stayed like such a golden person. Like, they stayed gold. They stayed with their heart of gold. I think that this person is an incredibly hard worker. I think that this person is incredibly loyal. And they're very honest. Like, honesty and trust and like mutual respect is very, very important to this person. So there is nothing that they would keep from you. Like, they're always going to tell you the truth, even if that's difficult. And then you know that they're always meaning what they say. I think this is someone who's going to be very open about their feelings, that you don't have to second guess, and they would never want you to feel that way, because I think this person, they know what it's like to feel in the dark, or to feel like you don't know what's going on. So they would always be very pure in their intentions. They would always be very open about their intentions. And I think you've created this bond where you know that you can go to them for anything, whether you need help, whether you just need like a shoulder to lean on, you just need someone to listen. This is like, you can always go to them and know that you will be received with a warm heart and with open arms. Like, this is, it just feels like home is the perfect way that I can say it. I just want to point out, we have the numbers 1, if we reduce this, 1, 4, and 7. This is a number that has come to mean to me that like what you want is in alignment with your destiny. So the type of person that you want to be with, or the person you want to be with, it is in alignment with what is destined for you. It is in alignment with what your soul wants. It's in alignment with what you're manifesting, in alignment with what your spiritual team is trying to bring you. I feel like you guys are very, very much on the path to manifesting this person. Some of you guys might already know this person or already be with them. But it really, really feels like you're on the right path, and the universe is totally working in your favor right now. The only thing is that I think that at the time you're watching this video, there may be many of you who are just feeling discouraged right now, who are maybe losing hope. And I hope that this can be a message of reassurance for you, not only that there's loving people out there, but that there's literally the person of your dreams, literally the person that you are manifesting, the person who is everything that you've ever wanted. They are out there. Okay, so let's take a look now at some cards to see astrological placements. So these could be literal placements that the person has, or just more so of their general energy. We have void of course moon with missing. Yeah, so some of you guys, it's like, you might wonder if this person got lost on their way to you. There's this feeling of like you've been waiting for a long time. We have Scorpio. The enigma, intense, strategic, secretive, sexual, enticing, extreme, powerful, passionate, manipulative, competitive, possessive, ruler of the 8th house. This person could have moon in Scorpio, or they could have moon in the 8th house. They could also have Venus in the 8th house. And then we have Taurus, resources, practicality, productivity. Okay, so one thing actually with the void of course moon, this person could have a void of course moon in their birth chart. Basically that means that their moon is not aspected. Someone who's really close to me has a void of course moon in their birth chart as well. Or with this card, maybe this person does not know their birth time. And so you couldn't find out the specifics of their birth chart. I'm just thinking of, we got the message missing when it comes to astrological information. So when you don't know somebody's birth time, you wouldn't be able to know their rising sign. And in some cases, you wouldn't be able to know their moon sign because it could change right on that day, or even their sun sign. My grandpa is born right on the day where the sun changed from Sagittarius to Capricorn. So we could never truly know for sure if he's a Sagittarius or a Capricorn. I feel like he's a Capricorn, but sometimes it's like, I wish we had that specific information. So something about their birth time could be missing that you couldn't know some of their astrological placements. But it looks like Aries energy, Scorpio energy, and Taurus energy is coming up. So if you know this person's sun and moon, maybe like Aries, Scorpio, or Taurus is their rising sign. But also this missing, it's a feeling of like, where have you been all my life? I truly, everybody has their flaws and every relationship has its difficulties, but I genuinely feel like this is as close to perfect as it gets in terms of a match for you, or this is as close to your ideal partner as it gets. With this intense, extreme, powerful, passionate, I feel like the connection between you is so strong. I think that this is one of those cases where you would probably know very, very early on, or even like right when you meet this person, that this is going to be someone very, very important in your life. And again, with Scorpio and Taurus are both fixed signs. So I feel like this person is incredibly loyal. Like they're not going anywhere. They will do anything to make you feel reassured. They will do anything to make you feel secure. And this is someone, like I said, who's very hardworking, and they're very perseverant. So they know your dreams, they know your hopes, they know your desires, and they would go to all lengths. Like they would do anything to build your dream life with you and to build your dream home and your dream future with you. Like this person is so committed. This person is so serious, and I think you'll always feel very safe with them. Like they're not going anywhere. We also have these messages of sexual and enticing. So you could have a very, very strong sexual magnetism with this person, or a very, very powerful sexual bond, or just a very strong intimacy if you guys are not sexual people. Maybe you feel like you've never opened up so much as you have with this person. You've never allowed yourself to be so vulnerable as you have with this person. I think some of you guys don't realize how sensitive you are. Some of you guys know, but I feel like this group is very sensitive, and some of you have not really opened up to that side of yourself yet. You might think like, yeah, I'm very stoic. I'm not easily like shaken emotionally, but it's because up until now you had to be that way. But when you're in an environment where it's safe for you to be soft and safe for you to be vulnerable and sensitive, you would just melt and let all of those emotions flood out. And I think that maybe some of you guys have a lot of emotions that are stored, or that are stuck. I want to say like stuck in your body. And because Scorpio energy, it's also about releasing and purging and transforming. And I think being around this person, it's something so powerful where you're able to release pent up emotion in an environment or in a bond that is safe to do that. And I feel like this relationship is very transformative, where you're just like purging old baggage, purging stale energy. There's something very healing for both of you about this connection. Very healing, very transformative. And I think both of you are really going through major, I want to say, ascension, or really glowing up together, really transforming together. With the enigma and secretive energy of this, I'm getting the feeling that a lot of people might not understand the intensity of your connection, or understand like the bond that you have, but it's okay because they don't need to. Like this bond is just between you and this person. I feel like I don't think that you keep your relationship itself a secret, but when it comes to what you talk about together and what you experience together, like it feels very sacred. You don't need to run around telling everyone what your relationship is like or what you're doing or what you're talking about. You know, sometimes we tell our friends all about what's going on in our relationship, and I just feel like you keep things sacred, you keep things between you guys. And again, it's not that you're hiding your relationship, but you're keeping your intimate life intimate. You're keeping that personal aspect of your relationship personal. And I think you're not gonna let other things meddle in your relationship, whether that's family, friends, societal expectations. What you have is rock solid, so nothing could like penetrate it, nothing could influence it, nothing could shake it. Again, it's that fixed energy. And also, you know, going back to unaspected moon, that means the moon is not influenced by other planets. So I feel like this is showing you guys creating a bond that is so strong that nothing could get in the way. I'm not sure why that's being emphasized. Maybe you or this person had a past where like people tried to get in the way or external factors got in the way, but like there's really that emphasis of like nothing could shake this connection. With the Taurus energy here and with the feeling of this person being like a builder, they want to build a secure future. I think this person instinctively wants to be a provider for you and they want to protect you. I was looking at this word possessive. I don't think that's the right word. I think it's that they want to protect you and they want to provide for you. I think that this person is very smart financially, and I think this person has a good work ethic, and they're very practical when it comes to like planning for their long-term future. So maybe this person, you know, has really good amount put aside for retirement. They're very good at managing their finances. They're very like sensible with their spending. That doesn't mean that they won't treat themselves. That doesn't mean that they won't like splurge sometimes, but I think in general they have a really good head on their shoulders and are thinking about the future, and they want to make sure that you're safe and that you're provided for, and you could be completely self-sufficient and have your own thing going on, but that doesn't change this person's instinct. Like they want to give you the nicest things, they want to provide for you. I think that if this person were to splurge, it would be on like, you know, providing nice experiences for you or gifts for you or whatever it is that you like to do. But they'll definitely be very, very generous with their resources. And Taurus is also quite a sensual and beautiful energy. So there's really strong vibes of like intimacy, but also like a lot of physical passion or sexual passion that is coming up quite a bit. Feeling very physically safe around each other. That's coming through a lot. With Scorpio and Taurus here, you guys could be sister signs as well. Like you could be the signs that are opposite of each other. So like Aries sister sign is Libra, Gemini sister sign is Sagittarius, Cancer sister sign is Capricorn, you know, whatever is like opposite on the zodiac wheel. So the next thing that we're going to look at is physical appearance, career, and hobbies of your future spouse. Wow. So for physical appearance, we have the Empress. For career, we have the Eight of Voices. And for hobbies, we have Three of Inspiration. So the Eight of Voices would be the Eight of Swords, and the Three of Inspiration would be the Three of Wands. Okay, so physical appearance, the Empress means that this person is extremely beautiful. Definitely to you, but I also think that this person is just very conventionally attractive. Again, we were talking about this person is as close as it gets to your ideal type. So if you do have like certain features that you like in a love interest, certain like body type or physical appearance, whatever it is, I think that this can be different for everyone. But the Empress is just someone who is so breathtakingly beautiful to you, and the Empress energy feels effortless. So I feel like this person doesn't even have to try that hard. I just heard like this person could be wearing a potato sack and they would still be the most beautiful person in the room. Even if they're not all dressed up, or even if they're not all made up, even if their hair isn't done, they just radiate this like effortless beauty. Kind of specific, but I feel like this person has very, very clear skin, like, or very soft skin or something like that. And I just heard someone saying it's not fair. I don't know, like they just don't have a single like pimple on their face, or they just look very, very youthful. They have very nice skin. This person's eyebrows look a little bit thin, so that could be a trait. It also looks like they have kind of thin wrists, and it looks like they have an oval face. I think their jawline would be very, very nice as well. And also something about like their mouth or their lips or their smile is very, very beautiful. They could have beautiful lips, beautiful smile, beautiful teeth. They could be a very good kisser as well. But yeah, just beautiful in general. I also think they have a very, very nice body, but they don't show it off that much, because I feel like this Empress is wearing a big cloak and we can't see what her body looks like. So I do think this person tends to cover up, or maybe they wear like looser fitting clothing, but when you see their body is like, holy crap. Yeah, this person is extremely beautiful. Okay, so with the Eight of Voices here representing their career, more so than a type of career, I think this is more showing how they might feel towards their career. I do think, like I said, this person is hardworking, and I think they, you know, the act of working is rewarding to them, and being able to provide and, you know, plan for their future is rewarding to them. But I think if they were being honest, they might feel a little bit stifled in the career, at least the one that they're in when you meet them. Because the Eight of Voices, you can see this person is restricted. They can't really speak up. They can't really assert themselves. So they would sort of be in a position where they can't express who they truly are. Or maybe they have like very long hours and they feel constrained by that. Like they can't take flexible holidays, or their like schedule is very, very set in stone. For some reason, like nurse or doctor is coming to my mind, as well as teacher. Could also be something in sales or something in retail. And I'm also just seeing like office jobs in general. I'm seeing them in like an employee position where there's people they have to answer to, or there's like difficult clients that they have to really put on a persona to deal with, or again, like a very rigid schedule. They can't just like take a shift off, or they can't just get someone to cover, or they can't just take time off whenever they want. I think they could feel, yeah, kind of like restricted, or kind of constrained by their career. This can always change, you know, we can always change our career, but it seems like at the time that you meet this person, this would kind of be the position that they're in. Or they could be, I'm also hearing like politics, or something where there's people are like depending on them, or people have their eyes on them. And in some ways they kind of have to perform. In some ways they kind of have to wear a mask. And I think that that can be said about a lot of careers, but I think this is a type of job where that's like really, really emphasized. You can't just be acting however, you can't just be, you have to be very careful about the version of yourself that you're presenting, because there's people watching you, or there's people counting on you. So with the Three of Wands, this is indicating their hobbies. I definitely think that travel is one here. I also think reading, they could be a bookworm. They might even enjoy writing, like creative writing as well. They might enjoy photography. So for example, they travel and then they take pictures of what they saw, and they like make a scrapbook, or they edit the photos or something like that. Travel, photography, reading, writing. I also think like games. Games could be significant with the dominoes here. So they could be a sucker for a good board game. Or it could be like video games or computer games or something like that. But I think that this person likes games. And it's interesting that this person has such a flowy dress, because we were talking about this person wearing more loosely fitting clothing. Another thing that's coming to my mind with the career is that when they're at work and when they're carrying out their job, they might come across like, oh, so confident, so powerful, you must be feeling yourself so much. But the truth is that they actually might lack confidence a little bit, or they might feel smaller than the persona that they portray sometimes. Interesting. Okay, so, I also think that wavy or curly hair could be significant. And they could have colored hair. Of course, it doesn't have to be pink, but like they could have dyed their hair in some way. Okay, so this concludes the traits part of the reading. So we're going to get into the deck that you guys chose now and see about your journey together. And this part starts with, so it starts with your meeting. So for your meeting, we have the Death card. For moving into dating, getting into the relationship, we have the King of Wands. Okay, this is coming together. Moving to your marriage, we have the Hierophant, which is more Taurus energy. And then for your married life, we have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Where do I start? I mean, I guess I can just go in order. You know, I've spoken a lot about this person. Oh my gosh, I just noticed we have Scorpio energy and Taurus energy, which is exactly what came out before. Also, I like that we have like a king and a queen and then the Hierophant in the middle, because like in the Rider-Waite, for example, we see the Hierophant and then there's two people, and sometimes I think, oh, it looks like the Hierophant's marrying these two people. So it kind of looks like the Hierophant's in the middle marrying this king and queen together. You don't have to be a male and a female, but you know, king and queen kind of make a pair, and then there's like the Hierophant. Anyway, so I've spoken a lot about this person being very serious and very committed. What it kind of looks like is that when you guys are getting to know each other, or when you guys are first seeing each other, one of you might be mistaking the other person for a player, or like questioning the other person's commitment. When I see the King of Wands in a relationship reading, he tends to make me think of like a non-committal person. Like this person is only focused on themselves, or you know, they really value their freedom and they just want to do their own thing, which there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're in a dynamic where like the assumption is that we're going to be committed to each other, then it can be a little bit misleading. It's like the energy of someone leading you on or not really being committed to you. He kind of comes out like that sometimes. And I think that it's like you're going to be worried that this person is a player, or that this person is not really committed to you, or vice versa. But I think it has more to do with your fears than how this person is actually treating you. Or it has to do more with their fears than how you are actually treating them. Especially just considering that it seems like both of you guys have had difficult pasts in relationships. It could just be like a fear is coming back up. What if this person isn't really committed to me? What if this person isn't really serious about me? And with death coming out around the circumstances of your meeting, for some of you guys, you could be meeting this person like when one of you has just gotten out of a relationship, because death does talk about an ending, a release. So, you know, you or them just got out of a very serious relationship, or you've been through, like the person crying on this card, it really makes this ending feel sad. You know, you've been through a tough ending, or you've been through a tough transition in your life. So there could be some of that, like just where you're at in life, it's not really the time to be jumping into a new relationship. But that doesn't mean that you're not a committed person, or that doesn't mean that this is not a committed person. So maybe I should give like a concrete example. Let's say it's this person. They just got out of a relationship and they're still processing it, or they're still dealing with things from their past. And so they're telling you, you know, I really like you, I have feelings for you, I see a future with you, but I also know that there's things I still need to process and things I still need to heal from. You know, I want to make sure that I'm not getting into a rebound situation. I want to make sure that I'm in the right place to provide for you in the way that I want to. And because of your past, because of your fears, you're thinking, oh, what if they're just saying that? What if they're lying? What if they're really just a player and like this is what they say? So, and it could be the other way around as well. But this is the kind of vibe that I'm picking up on for the early stages of your relationship. So it could be a little bit tough to navigate at first, but we have the Hierophant coming out after this. And this is the energy I saw from the start. Like, this loving person who has so much integrity, who's very, very honest. Remember that this person is extremely honest and you can trust what they say. And this is someone who really wants to be there for you. So when they are saying how they feel about you, they mean it. And when they're saying what they're going through, they mean it. And you'll see this in time. You will see this eventually. You'll see that this person will always be there for you and that they've always been genuine with you. And you will be in this beautiful committed relationship that you want to be in. That's like the Hierophant, a big keyword for me is commitment and long-term future and integrity. And it's that Taurus energy. So again, it's that provider energy. Honestly, it does look like you're off to a little bit of a rocky start, but again, it has nothing to do with like your compatibility, and it just has to do with healing these wounds from the past and understanding that this is not a repetition of a past pattern. And again, I was thinking of the star before, like it feels too good to be true. And maybe, you know, assuming that the other person is this King of Wands, like player or non-committed energy, is just your brain saying, no, this can't be. There's no way they could be this committed and serious and loving person, because that's just too good to be true, because that's what I haven't experienced in the past. I think it's just fear-based, or it's just a story that you're telling yourself. And it will take a while, I think, for you guys to realize that this beautiful commitment really exists and that it's really here for you, and that you can really have it, because for so long it seemed so far away, or it seemed so unattainable. And so I think it's really, really sweet that we have this Queen of Swords card to represent your married life, because the Queen of Swords, it's the mental clarity. She sees things clearly now. She sees the reality of the situation. Her view isn't skewed by her emotions. And so it's like, I finally understand that real love is here for me. I finally understand that when this person says they love me, when they're going to be here for me, like they mean it. I understand that I can trust this person. Like, the Queen of Swords, she cuts away what doesn't serve her anymore. So those previous wounds, those previous limiting beliefs, she's cut them all away, and she sees the truth now. And the truth is the love. The truth is the commitment. The truth is the loyalty. She doesn't have her past fears and her past experiences like skewing her view of this relationship, or like, I guess tainting might be the right word, her experience of this connection anymore. And like I said, this is such a healing relationship for both of you. This is such a transformative relationship for both of you. I think that boundaries are a really big theme in your relationship, like knowing your own boundaries and being respectful of each other's boundaries and always communicating. And I think checking in with each other's boundaries is like a continuous thing. I think I've seen a similar thing in a different relationship reading before, but I really like it. It's like, just because you said this is your boundary in the past, I'm not going to assume that it's always going to be that way. And I'm still going to keep checking in with you about how you're feeling and where your head is at. You know, there's that really strong like level of respect, and I want to say honoring each other, that is present in this relationship. And something that's coming through that's really nice is like you're able to be playful together, you're able to have fun and laugh and be silly together, but when it's time to talk about serious topics, you're able to do that. And also, like, you're able to be in the lovey-dovey, romantic honeymoon phase, but when it's time to talk about the more practical, like the less romantic aspect of things, you're able to do that as well. So it's like a really, really good balance that you guys have going. And I think this is why your marriage is like so successful, because you realize, you know, it's not just about being head over heels in love. It's also like, it's work, and it takes planning, and it takes dedication to each other, and it takes commitment. And holy crap, are you guys committed? I feel like that message comes out so many times in this reading. And then again with the Queen of Swords, like cutting away stuff that doesn't serve her, and this Scorpio energy. I feel like you guys keep your circle pretty small. And maybe that's something that you guys just do anyway. Like, you have a small group of very, very close friends rather than a ton of acquaintances. I feel like that's something you'll maintain into your married life. So there's not like a lot of people that you let into your like marriage and how it's going. I think you have a small group of very, very trusted friends. So for the next row of cards, we're gonna look into like the different aspects of your compatibility together. So that includes your physical compatibility, which is represented by the moon. Amazing. I'm just going to move these up a little bit so that everything will fit nicely. There we go. Your mental compatibility, which is represented by the Chariot, also very nice. Your emotional compatibility is represented by the Eight of Pentacles. And your spiritual connection, ooh, oh my gosh, is represented by Temperance. Okay, so we have a ton of major arcana going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 8. So more than half of the cards here are major arcana, which is very impressive because they make up somewhere between a quarter to a third, I don't know, math of the deck. So it's very impressive that 5 out of 8 here are major arcana. We spoke about, you know, feeling a very, very strong connection very, very early on, and the Four of Wands can talk about divine union. I do think that this is a very, very significant soul connection that is showing up here. Temperance generally makes me think of old souls, and it makes me think of souls who have known each other for a long time. And also it makes me think of like your journey to each other on this earth and your spiritual journey. It's all kind of tied into one. So it's like on your journey to each other, you would learn so many spiritual lessons, and you would learn patience, and you would learn trust in the universe, and you would go through so much self-discovery. You would learn about who you truly are. You would learn about your calling. It's like all of this is kind of tied up in a package in your journey to divine union. I see this a lot with Temperance. So this is a journey that makes you grow and mature a lot as souls. I think that if you believe in fate, your souls definitely planned to meet each other and designed your journey such that it would help you grow in the ways that you have grown, even like before your meeting, because every little event led up to your union. And I think it was very closely planned and closely watched over by your souls. I feel like Temperance has major like counterpart energy, yin and yang energy. You balance each other out very, very well. I'm kind of jumping around here, but going to the Chariot, this is also yin and yang. Like you're the yin to their yang, or they're the yin to your yang. I feel like there are definitely differences in you guys. You know, this is your mental compatibility. So maybe one of you is more like a left-brained person and one of you is more of a right-brained person, meaning one of you is more like very logical, analyzing, processing things, and then the other one of you is more like flexible and creative and dreamy. I think that's left and right brain. Or like one of you is more masculine, one of you is more feminine, one of you is more introverted, one of you is more extroverted. So you definitely have like different brains and different ways of seeing the world, but it works together and you're still very compatible, because I think you're open to receiving from each other's cup. You're open to learning from each other's differences, and like you just go together very, very well. I think your strengths and weaknesses fill in for each other. You know, when you're carrying out a task together, like we see in the Four of Wands, when you're building something together, you know, like, okay, there's certain things that I'm good at and there's certain things that you're good at. There's certain things that I shouldn't be touching and there's certain things that you shouldn't be touching. And it just works. Like I'm thinking of my dad and my stepmom. Like in their business, my dad is really good at like, you know, going out and talking to people. Like he does all the like upfront stuff and like, you know, making transactions and doing business and conversing with people and being out there. And then his wife is good at like managing the details and doing the administrative stuff. And I feel like the other is not good at the other thing, if that makes sense. So you guys have these kind of skill sets, I think, that are different but complement each other very, very well. When it comes to your emotional connection, same thing. Like there might be certain things that really move you emotionally that don't move your future spouse. There might be certain things that move them a lot emotionally that don't move you. You might have emotions that the other doesn't understand, but it doesn't matter, because with the Eight of Pentacles and what we've spoken about in this whole reading, there's commitment and respect and dedication. So it's like, I may not understand why you feel this way, but I'll be damned if I don't like sit here and hear you out and try to understand you. And I almost feel like crying when I'm saying that, because it's just like, it's so beautiful to be held like that and to be accepted like that. And you know, just because I don't understand how you're feeling, it doesn't mean that you're wrong in feeling that way. You know, I think so many of us have heard this, like, I don't understand why it's such a big deal to you, or like, you have no right to feel that. I'm sure we've all heard that at some point in our life, and it sucks. And I'm so happy for you guys to see this. Like, you know, emotional compatibility doesn't mean that we feel the same way about the same things all the time and that we just automatically understand how the other is feeling. It means that we're both committed to each other and to learn from each other's differences. And our differences are always valid and they make us stronger. We learn from each other and we become stronger. Like, this is such a beautiful example of balancing yin and yang. And it's cool that you guys have Scorpio and Taurus repeating, because those are like sister signs. They're two sides of the same coin. Yeah, you guys, mwah. Sorry, I did like a chef's kiss. You balance each other out so perfectly. When it comes to your physical connection, we spoke about your physical attraction and your sexual connection being very, very strong. And what I'm seeing with the moon, it's literally like the word unreal is coming to my mind. Unreal, like out of this world. It's like a dream. I think that your physical or sexual connection, it's just like it blows everything else out of the water. It knocks everything else out of the park. It's like the pinnacle of pleasure. Like the moon, it literally feels like your head is in the clouds, like you're dreaming, like it's not real, like you're spacing out. Yeah, very, 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 very powerful. I'll just leave it at that. The moon could also be about like fantasies, right? So you could fantasize about each other a lot, or you could be like playing out your fantasies together. But yeah, that's what I see with the moon. So let's move into the final part of your reading now. So this final part of the reading is going to show us basically like how close you are to manifesting this union with this person. Now that we've made it this far in the reading, I'm sort of assuming that you would know if this is someone you already know, or someone you're already involved with, or if this is a completely new person. So when we talk about union here, this can refer to, you know, actually meeting in the 3D, or getting into a relationship, or getting married. Like whatever is the next step for you in your specific situation. So in terms of how close you are, we have adjustments are required with the 3rd quarter moon. And we also have luck is on your side with the new moon in Sagittarius. I believe that the new moon in Sagittarius, at least in 2022, and probably in the following years, I don't know how quickly it shifts, but I think it's coming at the end of November. So the end of November, late November might be a significant time for this union. But what it looks like to me, oh, also like winter, because this tree doesn't have branches, which if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, with late November, we're getting close to winter, or if you're in Canada, that's pretty much already winter, or like in the northern countries. It does look like some changes are going to happen before you come together with this person, but with luck is on your side, the universe is already working to make these changes happen. So I don't think it's something that you need to think about too much, you know, like, oh, the reading said I need to change my life, so I'm gonna make this transition. It's not really like that. I think the changes are things that will come naturally. They're changes that you already wanted to make in your life, or that you were already planning to make in your life. So if at the time you're watching this reading, there's already changes that you're thinking you want to make in your life, or there's like already a change coming up, like maybe you're going to be moving in a few months, or maybe you're going to be graduating, or you're going to be changing jobs, or something coming up like that. That could definitely be something that is going to lead to the union with this person. Again, I don't think you have to think about it too much, because the universe is already working to make these changes happen, and they're changes that are going to make you happy. They're not like changes that you're going to be dreading, you know? And then also, I've been looking at the phases of the moon in these cards. This is a waning moon, and this is a new moon. Yeah, 3rd quarter moon and the new moon. In terms of the moon cycle, these two phases are not far away from each other at all. So I do think that you would be reaching the next step of union with this person sooner rather than later. It doesn't seem like you're going to be waiting too long. In terms of your advice, we have the star. This is so cool, because I kept feeling like the star energy was coming up. Blessings, inspiration, time to shine. This is so cute. Like, your advice is just to believe in miracles and believe that the universe is working in your favor. You know, there's no heavy advice like, you need to change this in your life, you need to do this better, you need to not do that. It's like, you're golden. And yeah, we saw that at the very start of the reading, because the number is 147. It makes me think like you're already in alignment with what you want. What you want is already in alignment with your destiny. What you want is in alignment with what you're manifesting. So it's just like the universe just wants you to have hope in this process. Have hope that your wildest dreams can come true. And then look, dream, build castles in the sky. Yup. Yeah, luck is on your side. Your dreams are coming true. We have another new moon. So whenever you guys are watching this video, see when the next new moon is, and maybe you can do like a manifestation ritual with that energy of the new moon to help bring in this person. But you guys are already, did I just shake the camera? I think I got too excited. You're already so close, and it really looks like you're already on the right path. So for the last cards that we're going to look at here, we're going to see if there's any time frames that you guys should know about. So we have T-square. This card would make me think of, oh, it's interesting, because like if I was using the moon phases to think of a time frame, the third quarter moon to the new moon, I would think of that as 3 months. And then with T-square, I would think of this as 3 to 6 months. So that's actually very soon. Like some of the groups were getting like years, you know, but I feel like something's happening in 3 to 6 months, whether that's you're meeting this person or you're getting in a relationship with them. I don't know if you're getting married in 3 to 6 months. I feel like you'd already know if you were, but you may be meeting them or getting into the relationship. And then we also have 1. So for some of you, it could be 1 year. It could be a little bit longer, but even 1 year is very soon. Like a year goes by so freaking quickly. So we have 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and late November as important time frames. Again, feel free to claim one of those or all of the above, like for different stages of your journey, whatever makes sense for where you're at in your journey. But group 4, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to that one or any of my other songs, my music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 4, I am sending so much love to you, to your wonderful spouse, and to your whole spiritual team. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.